Here's your intro. Oh, you know what? No, I won't. I'll do that later. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Nope, that's not the right volume. What happened? There we go. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Core. This is where we talk about video games and the industry that is the video game industry and games we play and all the other fun stuff. It's a video game podcast. You may have heard of it. 3 white guys.
I would assume if they were here, they'd heard of it.
Yeah, probably.
In some way.
Yep, you'd think so. That's John Jaggery here there. Bo Schwartz is also here. Hi, Bo.
Hello.
Hi. It's nice to see you.
Hi.
Hi. Took you off guard there for a second. You okay? You all right?
Yeah, I'm in a brain zone. Give me a minute.
Well, Bo learned about a new orifice earlier, and he's a little taken
That's
aback
true.
by it. Yeah.
I didn't realize I only had one butthole.
Yeah.
Others,
It's an intense thing to know in your life.
others may have more buttholes, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But
We're not here to judge, you know?
I might want to see it.
No, I'm not showing you.
Curious.
But anyway, we're here. We got a show to do. We got a lot of stuff.
Google show me about buttholes?
Probably. Google.
Yes, it will. Don't do it.
It might be AI generated these days, but you'll get it. It'll be in there.
Well,
You know, I wouldn't recommend it necessarily if you're looking
He
for...
Googled it. I saw his face. he's
I know. I was bracing. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. What do you think you're going to get, though, if you had to guess?
buttholes.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think he's gonna see? He's gonna see buttholes.
He's probably going to see
I don't know.
buttholes.
I'm not seeing anything that's like two. I guess so. Duplication. Huh.
Yeah. Duplicated
Not
butthole.
many.
Double hole. All right.
I think Google needs to up its catalog of 2 butthole pictures. There's not many.
You know, check Bing. They're always willing to give you a little extra over there.
Bing for more buttholes.
Yeah, Bing will get you every time. Anyway, we got a show to do. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about, and may as well now. I was in Vegas, and I didn't get to play as much video games as I wanted. However, I did see this new arcade that was in this one hotel we stayed in, and I was so excited. I was like, I'm going to go down. I'm going to see some old games, some new games. It's a barcade, so there's, I can get stuff if I want it. Nice, fun place to eat if we want to. Whatever we want to do. I'm excited. I go down there. It's called the Cove or something like that. Sounded neat. And sure enough, I get to the door covered in art that's like retro and modern. And here's Samus over here and Pac-Man over there and some kind of Sega racing game image over here and all this stuff. And I go in there, and all it is Kid Luck Arcade. It's all ticket shit. The whole thing. And here's my beef. It used to be we would put quarters into things to challenge our skill. Now we put quarters in to challenge luck. And that's dumb. I don't like it. I don't like that's not going to change. I'm not going to make any change here by saying any of this. But maybe have arcades like they used to be. Give kids something fun to play that's maybe hard and challenges them, that maybe prompts them to put more quarters in. But at least they're getting that challenge that you're supposed to give them. Not just a claw or a thing that pushes shit around. Lame.
Well, I got good news for you, at least for me. I have a place like a block away from me called the House of Targ.
Ooh.
And they have a bunch of pinball machines. And
You go there a lot.
so I mentioned earlier I was with Vel Mathras, Nick, and Zag from the Core Guild, the WoW Guild.
Mm-hmm.
We had dinner, and Zag was having to take a plane back, so he had time to kill. But we had to go. Nick had to go back to his family, and I was going to meet Mike. So I dropped him off at House of Targ, and I was like, and they had a thing where you pay $15 and you can just play as much pinball as you want.
That's awesome. That I would
So
do.
they exist. That's the point. Is the good news is, at least here in Ottawa, when you come visit, we can play all the pinball we want for $15.
Very nice. This is funny you bring that up because I also got to meet Torturous Owl right before I left. He is also in the Core Guild, and he's moving back to Utah, and we met up somewhere, and he gave me, it was like a little drug deal, but it wasn't a drug. He gave me his copy.
A lot of drug talk today, Scott, for a guy that's not on drugs.
He gave me a little copy. It's not a copy. He gave me his cartridge version of Fire Emblem: The Three Houses game, which I'd never bought. Now that I got to switch to, I'm like, hey, let's fire that one up and see. And he says, hey, I'm not playing mine. You want it? I said, sure. So we met up, and he gave me that, and I got a chance to plug that bad boy in there. I haven't been able to do much, but I'm looking forward to lots of anime, BS and lots of cool.
Anime, like Warrior School.
Yeah. It's basically Harry Potter meets, I don't know, What's a good example? What's that? There's an anime about school, something school, or shit. It's
A lot of animes are about school.
Yeah, but it's one where the school's about powers or something. They all have superpowers. It's really
Persona.
No, not freaking Persona.
The school, the Umbrella Academy.
No, it's like a anime thing.
The V University.
No, not Heroes, not Persona. My Hero Academia. That's it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's right there in the name, Hero and Academia. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, that was really nice of him. I don't see him in the chat, but thank you for doing that. So look at us hanging out with all these guildies and members of the audience and all that. We are a customer-facing organization here at Core. All right?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to move on. Hey, guess what? We got a big story today, and it's not just as simple as we're going to be mad about layoffs. It goes deeper than that. Let's find out. Major layoffs at Microsoft across the board, not just in the gaming division. I think that's important to say because a lot of people are zeroing in on the gaming end of it because that's more exciting. People are more interested in games, and they don't care about cloud computing or all the other departments that were...
It was a lot of people.
It's a lot. It's a huge layoff. Here are the things that impacted in the gaming space, though, because that's what the show is about. We're not here to tell you what happened in the Bing department or whatever. Speaking of Bing.
Oh, no. He'll be able to find fewer buttholes.
What are we going to do? Shit, Bo. I didn't realize it's a bad timing for you. You're not going to be able to find any extra buttholes on Bing.com. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you were so busy looking for second buttholes earlier, you didn't hear us talk about Bing, I'm guessing. By your reaction.
No, I went to Bing. It did have more buttholes, but I did different search terms, so
goodness.
I don't know.
Share that in a special.
They were like memes. They were not like actual photos.
Good.
So
that's actually good. I'm glad you weren't exposed to more.
I feel like I didn't really get a good shot of it. So.
Yeah. Well, the dual butthole, still elusive, still out there. Anyway, these layoffs, big ones. Here are the impacted stuff as far as we are concerned as gamers. Perfect Dark, full-on canceled, and most of that team dissolved. Done.
Boo!
I know. I was looking forward to that. That reboot sounded interesting. Looked really good.
The trailer, which I assume was all that exists of the game.
Yeah, there have been reports that there was a lot of finagling to get that trailer together. That there was a lot of fakery. Yeah. So it's one of those things. There are people who are like, that trailer looks so good, but there was a degree of we set things up to look this way. And there's been a little back and forth. Some people from the team said, yeah, that trailer was basically fake. There have been other people that have said, well, no, there's stuff that we faked, but it was from a running program. So, but either way, the game's not coming out. Yeah, we launched something, I swear.
Yes.
This is a company who in 2024 revenue exceeded $245 billion. That is a 16% increase over 2023 revenue. So again, these cuts seem like, hey, wait a minute, you guys are doing fine. Why are you doing this? This is all stuff they're predicting in the future. Stuff's going to even out. The AI rush is slowing. Like a lot of that stuff is not going to be what it is.
Yeah, so this was basically the result of the Initiative closing, which is a Santa Monica studio that was working on Perfect Dark.
Yep. And here's the double whammy of that, though, John. And this is what pissed me off the most because it just feels mean. And I know that it's not exactly how this went. But the original Perfect Dark, a Rare Studios production on the N64. Yeah. Rare Studios, now under the Microsoft banner, working on a game called Everwild, which was interesting to me when I last saw it. Canceled also. So Rare getting it in the front and in the back. Boom.
Old Rare and new Rare.
Yeah, old Rare, new Rare,
impacted.
Potential Rare, all that stuff impacted. The Rare team did not get, I don't think there was much of an employee dismantling there, but that game is no longer coming out or being made.
Yeah, there's not going to be any Everwild.
Yeah.
Jason Schreier was posting that most people didn't find out their Slack accounts just stopped working and stuff like that.
Oh, I love when that happens.
Yeah, I found out I was getting let go because my phone stopped working one day.
Shit, really?
And I made the joke. I was like, uh-oh, is this how I find out? And then they came in. They're like, John, can we talk to you? I was like, oh, no, I was right.
Oh, crap. Trying to think if I've never been let go when I was working in the corporate world. I'd only ever quit. And one time I quit preemptively to avoid a layoff. So I've never had that experience, but I wonder how common that is. Just that kind of cutoff, like your phone quit.
Yeah,
working,
I mean, it can be a little tricky because basically they make the decision they want all the access turned off so the people don't have access to stuff. Yeah. They try to time it to where it's like, okay, well, that'll go on during the meeting. And I imagine in a big company, it's pretty hard too. But, like...
That's the big company problems. They don't want anyone to retaliate, basically. So you cut them off on the date you're going to tell them, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't. Not that I've worked on layoffs, but I've terminated people before.
Killed them. Then you've actually killed people.
No, like job terminated.
Got it. Okay,
not for layoffs, but like for cause.
Just call them into a meeting.
So if somebody came to work naked or whatever, they'd say, "Bo, got a guy for you here."
I'm not going to get into the details of it, but let's say somebody just did something they're not supposed to do, and it's over the line, and it's goodbye time.
Okay.
Like a big one is just maybe not coming in for your shift at 9 and sleeping until 1, like every day, and being like, "Sorry, man, like this doesn't work for us." So this doesn't have to be sensational. It can just be like, it's cool that you want to sleep in. It's just not what's going on at this place. So I have to let you go.
I'm going to tell you a very fast story how this worked out for me once. In the corporate world, I had hired a girl. They wanted me to hire... how did it work? Oh, I know what it was. They needed me to hire somebody who'd be my assistant. So I did. And I thought she was great. And they thought she was so great in this management circle that they went, we're taking her. We're going to take her. And I went, but I hired her... Okay, fine. You take her. For me. So they take her. Then they find out she is not at all suited for what they need her for. Like, it's a total whiff on needing her over there. So what do? This is the worst part. This is why I quit this place.
They fired her instead of sending her back to you.
They came to me and said, "We need you to fire her." I said, "Well, why don't you just let me have her as the assistant again?" "Well, the budget's changed. We don't really have a position for that now. So your job is to fire her from this position."
God.
I was so mad.
That's everything about all of that sounds horrific.
Skeevy. I quit shortly after that, but I did do it.
A lot of that middle management stuff is scapegoating.
Yeah.
And getting people to do your dirty work.
Yeah. F that shit. Yeah. I will never do that. Shit. I'll never do that again.
Second butthole.
Yeah.
That's some 2 butthole shit right there.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, so Everwild canceled. We won't probably know much more about that. Perfect Dark, I don't know what we could have expected. Again, there wasn't much done. And then this project I didn't know about, and Schreier was talking about this in his article on Bloomberg, the untitled ZeniMax MMO called Project Blackbird. This is ZeniMax Studios, online studios, who currently does ESO, so they're the Elder Scrolls Online people.
They don't make new IPs when they have IPs that sell like hotcakes, so I assume it's a Fallout MMO, right?
Maybe. I would love to know, though, because given their entrenchment with Bethesda IP, with Elder Scrolls,
and the TV show doing great,
Don't they consider though that Fallout 76 is essentially their MMO? Even though I know it's not, but like
it may have played a role in this because they're like
they could have been like maybe they felt they were doubling up. I don't know,
or why spend all this massive amounts of money on a future project that we're already kind of making in a pseudo MMO with 76. Yeah.
I mean, it's my only guess. I just ZeniMax, I'm not really thinking, man, what new IPs are coming out of that studio. Now, like Obsidian, you're like, oh, they're going to make a game and it's going to be a new thing, probably. Like, what,
Yeah.
Don't think that way about.
I get a little more excited because I like ESO, but I get it. I don't think you're wrong.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I'm not expecting a new thing. I'm expecting an existing franchise for the most part.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like not a new IP,
Yeah. So that's why I guess Fallout, even though you're right, 76 is an online game, but I mean, I don't think they're going to do a Starfield MMO, and they already have Elder Scrolls. So.
John's immediate laughter at that.
Why not?
Yeah, it didn't even
just say more time to penetrate the market and become beloved, in the most nicest way possible. Like even if there's lots of Starfield fans.
It was like a quarter of a nanosecond before John laughed at that. I think that's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm just like, what else they got? A Redfall MMO? That's
Starfield MMO.
Redfall MMO. I mean, don't get me a little excited. That sounds fun if it's done right, They're not going to, but
Like, I don't want to make light of it because actual people lost their job, but there are elements that you have to kind of poke fun at. And the second you said Starfield MMO, the first thing that popped into my head was, yes, it deserved to die, and I hope it burns in hell.
Oh man!
But the game, not the people.
No, not the people.
I hope they find new jobs that are happy.
Exactly.
But I don't want to play a Starfield MMO. I don't want to live in a world where they thought that was a good idea.
I would be willing to try something like that for the potential of it. I'm not saying I would be very
Maybe
confident.
it would be the Starfield we all hoped we were going to get.
Maybe.
If I was a positive person,
But
if I
you're
was
not.
A person who liked things.
Yeah, you don't like things though. You hate them.
I don't like things unless it's perfect.
Unless it's perfect, like what? I don't know, Predator, Killer of
Unless it's
Killers.
clear obscure.
Unless it is the best cinematic experience I've had in the year, I don't like it. Clearly.
How dare you? How dare
this
you?
is the same thing.
Well, whatever that is, we'll probably find. I mean, there'll probably be some leaks about what that was. I am genuinely curious if that was a
Rumble's
thing.
going into maintenance mode. Warcraft Rumble. I don't know if this is related to all the shaking, but they are part of Microsoft now. So.
That was our very next thing.
Yeah,
so.
I put it on there because I thought possibly related. This didn't get lumped in with all the other termination info, but my understanding is that most of the staff who were working on Warcraft Rumble are gone, and the game is going into maintenance mode, and the timing on this announcement is a little suspect that it might be connected. So I said possibly related, but that is, they are under the Microsoft banner, so this is another thing to consider.
It also does make sense if you're trying to lessen the impact of one announcement, you let the bigger one happen and then do this in the back end with just a simple blog announcement. You don't make a huge deal out of it. They very well could be connected. I mean, maybe Rumble was just doing garbage money. I don't know.
I think stuff's going on at Blizzard too. I don't know if it's qualifying at layoffs. So I have a kind of a friend of the show. I've never met him in person, but this guy Ridiculous Hat, who's I know Jocelyn knows him quite well. He was in the Hearthstone podcast scene, did a lot of trading card stuff, and then eventually got hired. So he started working for the Hearthstone team, and his contract has not been renewed. And then the layoff news came, and I think there's some buzz that there's Blizzard people also going. I don't know if it's called layoffs or if it's just they're managing their projects and making changes, and it sort of coincides.
Shifting teams, yeah. A couple of them, I know some community got let go. None of our primary people that we care about the most, that are still there anyway, got affected that I'm aware of. I've had some discussion with somebody internally about what's going on with Rumble, but he told me I probably couldn't say. So just know that Rumble has not performed at whatever level. That's an easy thing to say.
I could tell you, we don't need insider info for this. Like, Rumble's pretty...
Yeah, like, here, you haven't told me anything, correct? You've never spoken to me one bit about this inside information. Here's my deduction. Let me put on my Sherlock Holmes deerstalker cap and let me throw it out there. Warcraft Rumble doesn't seem like the kind of project you work on because you have a great deal of passion for it and you think the IP is going to be further enhanced by the amazing gotcha money grubbing mechanics of this game. It seems like a game that exists to make money. I don't know many people that talked about spending tons of money on Warcraft Rumble, thus I kind of think it probably failed.
I've never heard of anyone talk about it.
Correct. You win. I think that's basically it. So, I mean, Bo, you played it the most of us. Did you? It
was all right. I mean, it was fine for a phone game. I liked it, actually. I didn't like the monetization, but take the monetization out, and it was fun. It's a fun time waster.
This is the problem. This is the problem, I think, just intrinsically with Blizzard moving into the mobile market and trying to be a big player in that. Nobody thinks of them for the games like that. They think of them for the big, expansive, good value. I paid for it. I'm playing it. It's Warcraft, and though it's a subscription, you're still paying for a quality product. Or you buy Diablo and you play it. Sure, on the fringes now, they encourage you to make microtransactions, but for the most part, that's Blizzard's thing, is to make video games that you buy and play. And when they moved into mobile, even with Hearthstone, it was like this new, okay, well, now you got to be like the rest of them. You got to figure out a way to nickel and dime them in the mid game and end game, and you got to figure out a way to make this profitable. And I just don't think that was ever going to be a good fit. And I know Diablo Immortal is still a successful moneymaker for them, but I that still feels like a thing that'll eventually run out because I just don't think they make games like this. This is just not who they are.
Well, it doesn't cater to the built-in audience. Therefore, the IPs don't cater to the built-in audience. So it has to stand as a bit of a cut above to attract casuals because that's who you're ultimately going after. And, there's a billion games out there that, why is somebody's grandma going to care about Warcraft Rumble, which is who you're essentially targeting? Because you're not targeting Warcraft fans for the most part.
No. But I bet the temptation is so overwhelmingly great to use one of their IPs in this way because if they don't, that feels like a risk.
It was not a bad idea for a game, like honestly, and they have a built-in audience that would try it initially on launch. What they should have done is front-loaded it financially. So this game Rumble is not that different structure-wise than Elden Ring NIGHTREIGN, actually. The difference is NIGHTREIGN has randomized relics and it has skins.
I was sure Clash Royale, by the way. I was sure that was what you were going to say, but you said NIGHTREIGN, and I'm very confused.
No, you can say it has skins, it has randomized relics, and you can't pay for none of them. It's just part of the game. So you pay your $40 and get in, and they make all their money on the front end.
Yeah.
Rumble should have been play $10 and you can play Rumble. It should not have been the diseased cow that it is, which is you pay to get randomly assigned purchase options, and then you buy things, and you have to upgrade them, and you have to pay to upgrade. Like it's definitely like leans hard in the gacha realm. I don't think the game is bad. Actually, I think the game's quite fun. Mm-hmm. It's probably in maintenance mode because it's just like John said. Like I don't think the audience long term wants to play this. I think they want to play this for 20 hours and
move on.
That was a fun experience. Like it's not, or it's on your phone, so it's like tier 4 of like your gaming priorities. Like I'm on the shitter and all I got is my phone. Well, let me open up Rumble. Like it's not. Let me knock over all the barrels to get to the Rumble device and play Rumble. Like it's just not that game. Yeah.
Is that on? Did they ever come to Steam? There was talk of a Steam beta or PC.
It's
beta.
on Battle.net. You can play it on PC.
That's where it was. Okay, so that is a thing.
It came too late. However, you can play with your mouse, and it's like an easy game, like Plants vs Zombies or anything like that. It's a good time. The monetization's stupid. They should have front loaded it for $20.
Yeah,
and you have yourself an awesome little dinky game that is almost in the realm of what John is saying. Just release games. Here, we made a dinky little game that's like cute and fun. You would have no misgivings. But because it's like a monetization nightmare, everyone can feel free to talk shit about it, and they'd be right. Like because gamers are a lot of us in North America. I can't speak for other zones that like China that are more used to stuff like this, I guess. We have a few people in the core Discord who will defend gacha, quite, there. They'll bring up MTG as like, but what aboutism? Trading cards are random, so why is this a problem? But I think for what the game is, it's more like NIGHTREIGN. It's like, I'm going to pay my money and just let me play it. Like I don't want to have to buy units with cash. It's like Sea of Thieves and how stupid it is for the game loop to be get more gold to buy sweet pirate loot, but also swipe your credit card and skip all that bullshit and just have the best items in the game. And it's like, what are you thinking?
They want sparkly.
What is going on in your brain?
They want Sparkle Horse money. They're trying everything they can to get Sparkle Horse money whenever they can get it, and sometimes the horse don't sparkle.
But they're shitting all over their game design. Like the game design is such a esoteric like thing, right? Like it's just like you do one sort of bad move and it engenders so many bad feelings.
Yeah,
and I think when you get your in-game chase items also connected up to the swiping, you've just like you're two buttholed your game. So you're shitting on it double time.
I think the two buttholes are going to be a theme today. I think we're going to have that.
Yeah, sorry. And if you have a second butt, I shouldn't do it. It's kind of just actually.
I don't know if people have another one. I just know my brother has something like it. That's all.
Yeah, they might. I think it's a possibility. I don't know. And it's just ableist. We just say shit. Like nobody likes shit. It's not. No one cares if you hate shit.
Yeah, no one cares how many exits you have for.
So we'll just talk. We'll stick to the shit, not to the hole.
There you.
There's a show title for you today.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Here the thing. Oh, one other thing. The Forza team cut in half. That is not Forza Horizon team. They are fully intact and moving forward with whatever 6 is going to be. But Forza, the mainline kind of simulation Gran Turismo competitor game, cut that team in half. Here's my total 2-cent prediction on what that's about. I think that people. This isn't going to be revelatory. I think people are tired of so much. The simulation market is a real thing. There are people who love that stuff, but it is a diminishing market as gaming becomes more mass market. That group doesn't grow at the same rate. They kind of stay in their little tight little space, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's super hardcore, but I don't think those Forza mainline games sell nearly or get played in Game Pass's case nearly like Horizon does. So.
Yeah, I think that's probably true.
Yeah.
Speaking of mobile stuff, though, King got hit. 10% reduction at King.
Shit. I never thought that was ever going to happen for some reason.
Yeah. Halo had a few layoffs, not a lot. Call of Duty, the studios outside of, or that were doing like additional work, which always breaks my heart because it always reminds me that Raven Software is now a Call of Duty studio. And it makes me so sad.
Weird.
It makes me so sad every single time as somebody who used to love Raven Software. It's like, oh, here they are making Call of Duty maps. Shit.
I mean, it was back. This happened before the acquisition.
It happened a long time ago, but I am
Sucks.
so sad about it every time I'm reminded of it. So, yeah, they lost some people as well.
Arcane Austin fully shut down. So, if you thought we might get a revival of the vampire thing that did bad, Redfall, that ain't happening. They're out. They're done.
Yeah.
Not the main Arcane one, which is the one that does the good games. And no,
what's it called?
Hold on.
What's it called?
Hold on. Shit, is it happening again?
Starts with a D.
Dishonored 1 and 2. Dishonored 1 and 2. I was going to say something totally different. When you said D, it fixed it. Thank you for that. I don't know why that's so hard for me to remember. I always do it, though. Anyway, Tango GameWorks and Alpha Dog Games laid off several employees at ZeniMax. I mentioned all of that. Here are some games that did not get affected. Okay, so you still can look forward to a game people were worried about because they haven't heard about it in a while, but State of Decay 3, which was not at any of the recent events, any Summerfest or any of that, is still happening. Full speed ahead on that one. That's probably good because it has a lot of fans. People like that series. And then all the first-party stuff they showed at any of the recent events, the Summerfest stuff, their own event, all that, including Tango Town. What was it called?
What's Clockwork Tango Town?
The one we liked, the one that jumped out at us. And
Clockwork Revolution?
That's it.
Tango Town?
Clockwork Tango Town.
I don't know why I thought of that. Oh, it's probably because Tango got shut down. Anyway, that game's still coming out. All that stuff they talked about, none of that stuff is on the chopping block or even the reduction block. So it all seems like stuff we either are studios that are just sort of there to churn or those who had projects we have not heard about in a really long time. And with the exception of State of Decay, well, you know what else we didn't hear about, but they didn't say anything about? As far as we know, it's all still good, but there's
a third one, isn't there?
What's the one where you can choose to be good or bad and you get a bunch of tattoos if you're bad?
Fable?
Fable. The Fable reboot is still happening.
I don't know anything about Fable.
I feel like that's... Oh, whoa, look at that.
What
Where did that come from?
Oh, what do you got there? Whoa.
Oh, a listener, Devastation, made this and sent it to me a while ago.
I love that.
Did you guys see that or no?
No.
Tell Devastation we are devastated and that there are 3 hosts on the show. And
she was going to make one for YouTube, but I don't think we talked yesterday. I don't think she forgot or something.
That's beautiful. Holy crap. Look, we're all pixelated.
Yeah, that could be like her album art.
For listeners at home who can't see this is one of those, what do you call that? It's you melt the plastic.
They're beads and you iron them and melt.
Yeah.
Melt beads.
And
they look like pixels.
Pixelated core hosts and then our album art.
Sorry, I didn't mean to distract. I with purpose brought it next to my desk and I saw it and was reminded to show it. So
nice.
So I was like, Fable, now's the time to show art.
I gotta say, this layoff stuff is like very like
not
it's becoming a weekly thing. No, so it felt like it was like a once every 3 weeks thing, and we'd talk about it, and then it was like, guys, we're not going to talk about it because we've talked about it.
Yeah, just about every week.
And now
we say,
it's just
let's not talk about it.
Yeah. Well, the reason
every week,
I feel like we haven't. I feel like we haven't done it in a while, and I think this one was worth discussing because.
Oh no. Not a critique.
It impacted so many projects.
Yeah, the projects themselves and their impact, I think, is relevant, which makes it more relevant. But you're right, Bo. Usually, it's like,
yeah. I'm at a point where I'm like, good gravy. Like, there's industries you got to really think hard before you get into, like being a stuntman, right, or stunt woman, or whatever. Like, that's a tough job. You need to be physically fit and well trained, and you're facing danger. So not everyone should be a stunt person.
No,
and it seems like not everyone should be in IT. In any capacity, because the layoff lottery happens every week on Monday. On Monday, you're part of the game. This is it's kind of sad. It's very sad.
It's very sad. I hate it. But it also, in some ways, and this is not me defending Microsoft, not at all. They're a massive company with big profits, and they should have been fine, and I hate when they do this. However, they kind of let it slip forever ago that part of that acquisition and part of them getting everything in line that they want to be moving forward, part of that was eliminating middle management. A lot of this is that. Tightening up teams so that they don't have to come from 5 different directions. They can kind of come from 1 or 2. Consolidation, like typical company stuff. It's just in this case, we're talking about human beings, and I hate that part.
It's like the third layoff, though. It's not the first one of these. They've
done a bunch of them.
I don't think it's the last. I think we're probably looking at more in the future, but it is. We are at that stage. Everybody's doing a little bit of sucking it up.
Game Pass doing well. I think that's where just the contradiction in turn comes, where it's just like, yes, they need to reduce to look good, but the Xbox division is fine. So why is anyone in the gaming vertical getting affected? Seems silly.
Well, like I said, they made $345 billion in revenue last year, and that's 16% better than the year before.
Well, that's not just Xbox. That's Microsoft.
That's Microsoft in general. But
I just mean, like, how's Xbox doing? You know what I mean? Like,
they don't really tell us.
Do they deserve the layoffs or no? Because sometimes you eat the layoffs because another division is losing money, not because you are.
Well, I was talking to Tom about this yesterday, and his numbers. I wish I had a link to it. I'll try to find it. But basically, It was looking like the more part of these layoffs were not the gaming division, that most of them are outside of it.
Okay.
So that's why it's an important context to have it in, that this isn't just, Xbox getting nailed. It's kind of up and down the corporation.
Yeah, like it was an insanely high number, but the part of that number that's gaming is not that high, but it did result in project cancellations and stuff like that, so it stands out.
It definitely affects us, yeah. And players.
No, yeah, the Perfect Dark thing is really the only thing, like on a personal note, where I was just like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Like I the part of me felt it might have been vaporware from the trailer, but I wanted to believe. Shame on me.
Yeah.
And then now they're canceling it. Shame on me again for believing. And Phil, friendship ended with Phil. Forget it now. I mean,
you and Phil Spencer just not. You're on the outs now.
No. I always thought of him as an affable guy, salesman for Xbox or whatever. But he's just a butcher. I'm done with him.
Well, what if it's
Perfect Dark's gone?
I'm not saying it isn't, but what if it's not him at all? What if he's because there's now rumors he's
the face. It may not be him personally, but
right.
He can come out and say any number of things, and I think he was out there saying like, "Don't worry, these layoffs are great." And, they're really good for the future of Xbox. And I'm like, first of all, I don't know why even he's out there talking about layoffs at all. Like, I don't know why you get your salesman to do.
It's a little weird.
Also be the face of the butchering.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
But that being the case, I'm not a fan.
I think so. If the rumors are true that he may be stepping down soon, maybe he's got a problem with all this. I don't know. I don't want to make shit up.
They came out and said they were debunking that. Of course they would, but Microsoft did issue a statement saying that's not true.
Well, maybe there's nothing to it then. I don't know. We try to gamers, myself included. We apply a lot of drama to this crap that doesn't.
There's a lot of speculation going around because even one of the comments I read, and I'm like, I need to stop reading comments, was Blizzard. They even made Blizzard cancel an MMO. And I'm like, I couldn't find that anywhere. And I was like, that was just a comment someone made.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't, this isn't knowledge, Bo, just because it's in it. Sometimes you like err on the side of oh, it's this person saying something true that they read, and it's like obviously it's just a figment of their imagination.
Feeds into our biases.
Response. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, it is what it is. We wish them good luck in all of their endeavors over there, and we will
we'll still be playing their games and stuff. But I've seen more people that are like, I'm actually canceling my Game Pass. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah. I just think it's.
I think people can do what they want. I don't know how that helps them save jobs. You know what I mean? Like, I get being mad.
Well, they're gonna buy the games instead of pay Game Pass.
I mean, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, again, people do what you want. I don't care. It's not my job. But I do think it's funny when it's like, I don't like that people are getting fired. I'm not buying any of their products. It's not going to save jobs.
No, if you're trying to save jobs.
I just think it's like if you don't respect the people that you're doing business with, right? Like if you're like, if the company you're buying from are a bunch of like legitimate assholes, you're just like, I don't really want to be involved with them,
Yeah,
sometimes
and if that's the case, then that's totally fine.
That's more where I'm standing.
Things like that where I'm like, I think this company's gross, so I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. Everybody's got to find the area that they're.
Yeah, I'm not saying it as like a BDS sort of thing where everyone's just like boycotting, but it's like. It's more just like ew, gross. Like it's their what do they call that now? It's like an ick.
Oh,
like Phil Spencer's becoming an ick.
He's becoming an ick. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. It's like Ybarra when he first took over Blizzard. I was excited because it felt
major ick vibes.
Oh, he's the ick. He's the ickiest of icks now. And anything he says now, where he's not even at the company anymore, but they're always reporting shit he says.
Yeah.
And he's always like, I don't know if I agree with the bear. I'm like, you know what? F the F off. You're done. You're out of there.
He's become a very good barometer, though, for like, we must be going in the right direction. Mike Ybarra disagrees. He's like you know how compasses, the little red arrow points north? He's like the little white arrow pointing south. Like you can still figure out the right way by looking at where he's pointing because you just go in the opposite direction.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But you know what's infuriating about Ybarra for the most part is like when he says something, it's like, oh, headlines and lots of people view and discuss. But Mike Morhaime is out here, the actual CEO, not the guy who was there for 6 months, is like doing interviews and press, and it barely registers a blip in the media. And I find that fucking frustrating.
It's really weird.
I find that's. I'm like, Ybarra's like, oh, I'm a dumbass, and everyone's like, holy shit, PC Gamer Article of the Year, bang, 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 bang. And then Mike Morheime's out here doing a nice interview with like 300 views. I found one recently, and there's like some interview he's doing with some guy, and it's like a 300 view video, and I'm like, what's wrong?
It's us. It's us because, and when I say us, I mean like, the royal us, I don't mean the three of us or anyone listening to this, but there's a problem with the royal us because we hear Ybarra said something, we go, what'd that dumbass say this time? And we all flock to it. We can't wait to hear what he had to say. If Mike says something, we all go, oh, he's nice. He's sort of quiet and nice, and he's got those games
the guy
out.
That was the captain during the best growth period of that company. Like, come on, like what the hell?
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird behavior that we all do. I think you could scale this to just about everything: politics, entertainment,
sure,
whatever. It's all the same.
No, I know there's an element of sensationalism, but still, I don't mind that there's a lot of views on the Ybarra stuff, but like everyone's like, don't people know who Mike Morhaime is? He must speak. I'm going to defend for him. He's not going to. He's not. Doesn't seem like an ego.
Here
guy.
We are also talking about Mike Ybarra first.
That's true,
and only using that as a lead-in to go, hey,
yeah.
Well, he is an Xbox stooge, so that's why I'm like, it relates, right? He was Xbox before Microsoft.
Well, Activision, I thought, right? Or no?
No, he was Xbox before. I know Rod Ferguson was Xbox before Blizzard. I think he might have been too. I don't think he was I think he might have got hired over like before the acquisition because there's a couple people from Xbox.
Ferguson was he was.
I'm not sure about that.
Ferguson was Gears of War lead before he came, so he was all about.
Yeah, I'm just saying that like there were definitely. I guess what I'm saying is there were sleeper agents from Microsoft that went over to go work for.
Oh my gosh! Play the X-Files.
Oh yeah, where is that?
I don't know. Corporate.
Yeah.
That corporate stuff's real, dude. You don't think Xbox had a plan of sending some people over to like try and find a way to make that.
I mean,
happen.
Maybe, but I also don't plan on sitting here saying it like it's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm also not saying
do
it is.
Then. I'll hang my hat on.
Okay, then we'll play the X-Files thing. Play.
It's unverifiable, but you may have some meat on that bone, is what we're saying.
I'm not. Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying you don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, he's worked at Xbox. Right, his long history, primarily at Microsoft and Blizzard. He spent 20 years at Microsoft.
Yeah.
He is for sure a sleeper agent. Not even a sleeper agent. He is for sure like, hey, I'm from Microsoft and I work great. And they're like, okay, come and work for us. And then every day he's just in Mike Morhaim's office. He's going, I know you're playing StarCraft 2 right now, but have you thought about how awesome Microsoft is? Just drop it in the
Does that by association, does that make Gabe Newell a sleeper agent at his own company, Steam and Valve, because he used to work at Microsoft for 15 years? You see what I mean? Like,
no,
it's not
everyone. Not everyone's a sleeper agent. I'm just saying Mike Ybarra is definitely a sleeper agent. Just because you work somewhere doesn't mean you're there. But like that guy, have you seen that guy's tweets? He was definitely in there being like, "Yo, did you pause your StarCraft 2 game?"
Well, now he's
I want to talk about the cool stuff going on at Microsoft.
Well, he's
Mike's
now.
like, why did we hire you? I can't fire you. I'm too nice. So you just go and do some stuff.
Isn't he now at like Pepsi or some shit like that? Like it's a.
Yeah.
Something.
Mike Ybarra's at Pepsi right now.
Let's see. Can I find where he is? Exit Blizzards after. Okay. Blah. Let's see where he went. I just want to know what he's up to. Here we go. He is now going to. It doesn't say. All right. Well.
Current job.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
I went to his LinkedIn, but it didn't say where he was currently working.
Let's see.
He says the AI says his
Chad says sports betting, and I feel like I heard that.
Oh, right.
I feel like that is something I heard. So I don't know that that's true, but I have heard that before for sure.
Yeah, I found it. It is technically not gambling daily fantasy sports apps called Prize Picks, like Bo said. Right?
Open up Discord. I'm going to send you a picture and tell me this guy is not a sleeper agent.
He looks like my buddy Andrew, who might also be a sleeper agent. I don't know.
They're all sleeper agents.
Okay.
I shouldn't say sleeper agent, just agent. Just like not even. It's not sleeper. It's not hidden. The idea that this was like a secret is not what I was intending to communicate.
Well, I think
I just can't think of the right word. I don't mean sleeper.
Well, I have the right music for it. All right, moving on.
He's an alien.
He's an alien for sure.
I believe, Scott, okay?
I know you do, and you should want to believe. Absolutely. All right, let's move on to this story John dropped about former rookie cop Leon S. Kennedy is too cool to be scared, says Capcom. Explain.
So we've seen the trailer for Resident Evil 9. We know we are playing as a new character, a character that is tangentially connected to the PS2 multiplayer Resident Evil games. And there were a lot of people that were thinking, yeah, but wouldn't it be cool if former rookie cop Leon S. Kennedy was in this game? And Capcom came out and they said, well, we're going for horror. And Leon has been through a lot. He went through Resident Evil 2. He went through Resident Evil 4. We don't talk about it, but he went through Resident Evil 6, where he killed the president of the United States because he was a zombie.
Oh,
yeah,
right. Okay.
This is a man who we don't want to see getting scared because he's too cool. Like, it doesn't make sense if something jumps out at Leon and he goes, ah, because he's seen some shit. So they said Leon is too cool of a character to be scared. And honestly, they said it, and I kind of laughed. But they're also kind of right, you know? It is kind of true. He's been through they said if you're going for a horror game, Leon's a little bit too much of an action hero these days. So it makes sense to have a new protagonist. All that said, yeah. I think this is... Here, play the music, Scott.
Okay.
X-Files.
Yeah.
This is a huge smoke screen. He is totally in the game, and he's going to be playable in the game.
We're coming back to this. We're bookmarking this, and we are coming back to this because I love this prediction. This is a fun one.
He's 100% in the game.
When's that game out? Do you know?
Sooner than you would think. When is it? It's next year, but I think it's pretty early next year.
All right, I'm gonna make. I
want to say like February.
I'm gonna make a note for the month of. Let me pull this up. September.
Resident. Here, I'll look it up right now. Resident Evil 9. Current release date, February 27th, 2026.
Okay. I'm going to set a date for February 1st to remind me to check in on this.
Okay.
And there will be that day that'll pop up and it will go, oh, yeah, did John get that prediction right? And we're going to check back in because that's fun and I like it.
Also, you don't talk this much about Leon. Like,
No.
there's a lot of protagonists in Resident Evil.
Yeah, why would they do that?
They're really honing in on Leon.
I agree. The way you
He's
do.
100% it. Oh, yes, the way I do.
Yeah, you love him. And if they're going to talk about him the way you do, holy shit, he's in there. Of course he's in there.
Like, little hearts form in my eyes when I talk about Leon Kennedy.
Yeah,
like,
a true hero.
There's a true character right there. He doesn't punch rocks.
Yeah.
He's above it. He finds another way, a better way than punching boulders like Chris.
What if he's, unlike the 2 remake that they did where it was flipped, what if disc 1 is the girl we've been introduced to?
Yeah.
Hatchimo Flim Flam, whatever her name is. And then
Hatchimo?
and then he comes in disc 2 for your other playthrough. What if that's what they're talking about?
I'm 100% okay with that.
You're down with that?
I will never argue with more Leon. First of all, Leon is like a mark of quality in the Resident Evil series.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
The best one.
It's pretty good.
Resident Evil 2 remake. Another best one.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4. The best one again.
Yeah.
Redefined action games from that point forward. Resident Evil 4 remake, they improved the best game ever.
Yeah.
They did it.
Yeah, they did. I agree
He
with this.
was also in Resident Evil 6, which was not good.
Oh,
But
I'd never
So
played.
wait.
But hold on. But there's a
Mark
gigantic
of quality.
double butthole butt on this, because here's the thing. Resident Evil 6 had 3 protagonists.
Chris.
He was only one of them, and almost universally agreed that the one part of 6 that was good was Leon's section.
Okay. Fair enough. I think that's you know what, I think you're good to hold the line here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll be in it. I don't know what
Yeah.
role or whatever. And he was in 7 briefly as that old man at the dinner table. I don't know if you saw that.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't, but I like the idea of that. That wasn't him. Anyway, well, there's that. Also, the Stop Killing Games initiative ends on July 31st. If you are in the EU, you should consider supporting this. I've heard about this for a while, but John, you looked into it.
Yeah, so this is gaining a lot of traction again. A lot of people are talking about this. We actually talked about it way back when it first started, and we had the unfortunate distinction of bringing it up the day that, not to turn this into a drama, but the day that Pirate Software launched into a crusade against this initiative. And I think we brought it up on the show and went, yeah, but I heard something about it's not good for gaming or something like that, and we glossed over it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna fix our history, and I'm gonna say if you're in the EU, you should go to StopKillingGames.com and sign this initiative.
Yeah.
Basically, what it is it's a plan to force a discussion about a plan to avoid things like The Crew from happening, where they just wipe out a game. You bought it, you played it, you didn't get it, you don't have any access to it anymore. And the idea is that game companies will hopefully one day have to come up with a plan for when they want to sunset their video games. The thing that this is not like, okay, we got 1 million signatures, now there has to be rules and we have to have a clear-cut idea. So anybody that's out there, because I know one of the big concerns is like, it's so vague. It doesn't have to be specific. This isn't a draft. It isn't you got 1 million signatures, the plan's going into action tomorrow. This is just to have a discussion, and I think it's something that's good to have a discussion about, because I do think, in general, I try to be consumer first when I talk about things on the show. That's sort of how I feel. Not a lot of industries where you feel like you don't like your pizza. Don't you understand how hard it is to bake a pizza? You don't understand how it is to get all the toppings together and cook. You don't have to. At the end of the day, like you're purchasing a product and you either like it or you don't. Mm-hmm. If you want to find out the inner workings of how it all goes, good for you. But at the end of the day, they're game companies, publishers, all of that are here to serve us, and I don't think they've been doing a very good job of it. This is to help make them do a little bit better. So this is only open to the EU. It has gone over its 1 million signatures that it needed. However, still go ahead and consider doing it if you're interested in it, because there is a chance that some of these signatures might not be valid. So when they go to validate the signatures, there's a chance, because right now it's at 1,033,979, but for all we know, 100,000 of those could be fake. Could be American people using a VPN, signing it,
right,
because it's open to Europe only. Could be people double signing it. Don't know. That number will go down when they validate it. So if you're interested in it, stopkillinggames.com, sign it. I would, but I live in the U.S. So
yeah, I'd help too if I could. Bo, you still have to deal with the Queen. Could you do it? Oh no, they're out of there. They
we're
Brexited.
not in the European Union.
Yeah.
Even if they were a part of the European Union, the jurisdiction still wouldn't come to us. So.
Gotcha. All right.
But no, they Brexited.
Yeah.
So they're actually not involved. Like I guess if you're in England, you can't sign this either.
Well, that's true.
It looks like the countries really are. We got to lean on those Hungarians to help out.
I don't know what happened. The notes got weird for a minute, and then
somebody deleted the show.
That was really weird.
We're back though.
We're back, everybody. Don't worry, everything's fine.
Estonia, hey, people in Estonia and Cyprus, let's go. Get that stuff signed, and all our German listeners. Germany. Apparently, there's a lot of people in Germany listening. Get that petition signed.
Yeah, German listeners, French listeners. We got a bunch of you guys.
Yeah, French listeners for sure.
Where's
Irish?
Yes, the country of Irishland.
Ireland.
Let's go sign.
Yeah, I like Ireland's, and they're very active-y. They could get in there, get that done.
Yeah, we got some Irish.
Oh, they're part of the UK though, aren't they? Aren't they?
No,
they're not.
Ireland,
United Kingdom, right?
The country of Ireland.
So there's Northern Ireland, right? And then there's the rest, and the rest. Something's independent, something's part of the UK.
I think at one point they definitely were a part of United Kingdom when they got colonized. And England had to be owned by everybody.
I'm pretty sure,
Ireland is its own country.
I'm pretty sure Scotland and part of Ireland are part of the UK, the United Kingdom.
So. This is our Wikipedia article. Take it for granted if you'd like. Ireland, also known as the Republic of Ireland, is a country in northwestern Europe. Consisting of 26 of the 32 counties of the island of Ireland.
Is it... Okay. Oh.
The sovereign state shares its only land border with Northern Ireland, which is part of the United Kingdom.
That's what I'm thinking of, Northern Ireland. Yeah. They're part of it. Yeah. All right.
So there you go. That's the confusion. So there is an Ireland, and those Irish folks... They they're like you Americans. You like F off England and throw your tea in the lake.
Oh hell yeah! If there's anyone as rebellious as us back when it came to England, it's Ireland. So
now I think I'm not sure. So Scotland's also got like the Northern Ireland treatment. It's a country. Oh no, it says it's a country as well. It's part of the United Kingdom. There you go.
It is, but in the same way that France is a country, but it's part of the EU.
That's weird. So is the United Kingdom a country?
No, it's a consortium of countries.
It is. The United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, commonly known as United Kingdom, is a country. So it's a country made up of countries. You need to fix your words, guys.
They got a weird embedding system there.
You can't be a country. That's like what? That's like, it's just like saying you're a car made up of cars.
United Kingdom is known as the United Kingdom or Britain. A country in North. It is you're right. They call themselves a country full of countries.
It's calling it a country, but I go to I don't know, click one of these. Click Scotland, and Scotland is a country that is part of the United Kingdom. What? England is a country that is part of the United Kingdom.
Why are we doing a drum roll?
We're going to do God Save the Queen. Here we go.
Oh.
I don't know why I'm doing that. I shouldn't do that.
All right, yeah, you guys need to fix. Just like it needs a tweak. You're the home of English. Why is your English bad?
Scott, can you full screen me for a minute?
Absolutely can. Everybody, stop what you're doing. Put your coffee down. Look at this screen. Here he is.
Hi, everybody. John here. You haven't heard me for a little bit. And that's because I don't know, and I'm happy to admit that I don't know. And I didn't feel the need to talk for the last little bit of time because sometimes not knowing is okay.
Oh, I thought it was half the battle.
I don't know.
Okay.
See, and I'm happy to not know.
Okay.
I'll learn one day if I need to know. But I'm not going to guess. And that's what we've really learned here today.
Like basically what United Kingdom is doing is if instead of the United States of America, it was called the United Countries of America.
Yeah.
And that USA or UCA is a country, but also New York is a country.
Yeah.
And
I think
Utah's a country.
They probably did this for pride.
What's going on?
It's probably pride reasons, if I had to guess, because nobody wants to be not called a country, but they're happy to have the UK reasons to be the UK. I don't actually know that.
But it doesn't.
To
make
John's
sense.
point, we don't know.
Look, apparently they've got smart.
It's a long path to I don't know.
Apparently they've got smart people there at like Cambridge and Oxford or whatever.
Yeah.
You've got your smart get your best brains on fixing the labeling of things.
I'm sure it's a top
People want to
priority.
get bent out of shape about pronouns, and then look at you. You can't even get your countries right.
That's
You
right.
still have work to do on country now.
That's right. Get to it, you jerks. All right. Well done. Hey, how about this story here? A lighthearted story about Marvel rivals really trolling Spider-Man fans. Why'd they do this, John?
Thanks for asking, Scott. No, I saw this, and as somebody who obsesses way more than they should about the way Spider-Man looks in various medium, I thought this was funny. So Marvel Rivals is going into its next season. You're getting 2 new characters. You're getting your Blade. You're getting your Jean Grey, a.k.a. the Phoenix. Mm-hmm. And they've previewed some of the cosmetics for the Battle Pass. And there is a theme for the Battle Pass this season. And that theme is symbiote, Venom, that kind of look. Yeah. Now, why is this trolling? They have shown symbiote versions of Jeff the Shark, of Squirrel Girl, of so many characters, but not Spider-Man, who continues to not have his black costume, the most iconic alternate costume of Spider-Man, that of course people are hungry for.
Sure.
They want it so bad because, really, you think of his red and blue costume, and then the next one you think of should be the Ben Reilly Spider-Ben costume.
Sure.
But I understand that you don't all have the same taste as me. So the second one most people think of is the black symbiote suit. It's still not in the game, and now they're teasing a bunch of cosmetics of, like Jeff the Shark getting a symbiote costume before Spider-Man, and Spider-Man fans are sad.
How much of this do you think is Marvel just saying, don't do that?
I don't know. But I think it's really funny. And I can't decide if it's funny or if they're just messing with people or if they don't do it at all.
Yeah. I like it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if the season comes out and they give almost everybody else a symbiote costume except Spider-Man, I think that's funny.
Yeah.
I think that's really funny.
I actually do too.
I kind of am on board with it.
John,
but maybe they're saving it for a movie tie-in because the Spider-Man 4 is going to have the symbiote.
could be.
Could be.
Talk of crossover. So
because the teaser was at the end of that third one where they had Venom hanging out, and then a little piece of his costume tripped away onto a countertop.
Yeah, left a little bit.
Yep.
And it's going to have Punisher in it now, confirmed.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And he would look really cool in a black costume next to the Punisher.
Yeah.
Punisher's going to be in Spider-Man 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Bernthal.
And his 2 ears. They're all 3 going.
All of them. The whole party's going.
Those 2
I like him so much.
They're big ears. They upstage everyone.
Oh, they're huge. I love him too, though. I'm a huge fan.
He's doing such a good job as Punisher.
Yeah. He's great. I like him a lot. I forgot what a prick he was in Sicario. I watched that again the other day. He's such a bastard in it. But other than that, I generally like him.
He's good at playing a bastard, that's for sure.
He can be a bastard, he can be a hero, he can be an anti-hero, and his 2 ears get their own trailers when they're on set.
Oh my god!
I saw him in that Daredevil.
Gotta be nicer to his ears.
It's an old terrible joke. Sorry, Bo.
He was in the Daredevil show, The Born Again deal.
Yeah.
Oh, he showed up in there. I still haven't watched The Born Again.
Oh, you haven't watched it? You should watch it. It's good.
It's decent. It's good.
Yeah.
It's like A tier. Like
it starts strong and ends strong, and the middle is all over the place.
It's okay, but it's okay.
Okay.
I think the Netflix seasons have been worse than what they showed here. Like, it's definitely an improvement. So
that's what I've heard generally, and they didn't hold back on like violent stuff and all that, right? It's pretty.
No,
that's pretty crazy.
But it's not like wall to wall. It's not like wall to wall John Wick constant. Like a lot of it's like I'm a lawyer, So
yeah, but they don't hold back when the scene requires it. Is the main thing because it's Disney.
Well, it's like it's got blood and violence and language, kind of your standard fare, and then it gets to the end, and then they pull out a Terrifier special effect for one scene. You're like, what are they doing? What happened?
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Did that take you out of it, or did it make you go?
No, I was like, this is awesome.
Okay.
I was on board.
I just need to watch it.
I think just a little bit of it, if I can say, it's always the negative stuff in Marvel, is it feels like we're getting the trains to run on time stuff rather than being just genuinely good content. Like you get that feeling from watching some parts of it, in my opinion.
Well, it was a show that was salvaged from another show, and I think
it's good though.
Shows.
It's good.
It does.
So,
you kind of feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it.
But there's going to be another season, and it's off to a good start. I enjoyed it, and I have generally I walk into Marvel TV shows with very low expectations these days. So.
It's probably safe. Then you're surprised when something's good. Rivals still on the top charts of things. Are people playing Rivals? I know it kind of had its moments.
Let's find out.
I think it has its fans, like audience, but I don't charts wise. I don't know.
Let's see.
Let's look at Steam charts.
Concurrent.
Top games: Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, PUBG Battlegrounds, Rust, Bongo Cat, Banana, Dune Awakening,
That's 13.
Rainbow Six. Yeah, it's not in the top 10.
I'll be damned.
But it's only on my list. It's showing as 14, so that's not too bad.
As many people as
hard to argue with that.
Less than 10% of those playing Counter-Strike 2, which is kind of funny.
Also, you always assume that PUBG's seen its height and is long down this list. At number 3 all the time. This is right up there. They're doing fine. Let's go in there and I can shoot you, Bo, at the tunnel again or whatever.
And then feel bad.
I'm friendly. Same team.
Yeah. Top records currently PUBG Battlegrounds.
Although, like, to be fair, I think this is just Steam numbers, and Rivals gets played on consoles. So, and I think Counter-Strike just gets played on Steam. So
yeah, I mean,
this isn't the full picture.
Yeah, this is just the Steam charts.
Yeah, this doesn't really count, I guess. But well, that's good. That's still, let's see, what do they got on their current player? 71,000.
So they're doing fine.
That's a big number. They're beating Call of the Duties.
I mean, it's fine, and this is what current, like right now, current players. So what was its peak? 93.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think this is an Overwatch level game. I'm going to go ahead and say. I know it's going to sound crazy. I think more people play Overwatch than Rivals, but
I have no idea. They don't play more on Steam though, because Steam's got Overwatch.
Know. I think what it is. It's not that I have an exact number. But every time it has come up in conversation where I've heard a thing or discussed with someone, more people are playing Blizzard stuff than you would assume or think.
Yeah, I would think you'd at least be in the top 50 of Steam charts for Overwatch 2.
Oh, well, that's if you're playing in the client. If you look, I'm a big personally, like, if there's a game and it's in a client, and then there's a game and it's in a second client, on principle, I don't open in the second client or purchase, right?
Well, right.
Cyberpunk, I play on good old games. I won't give Steam money when I will just buy it on their platform. It just seems correct, unless I hate the platform. So Blizzard stuff, I will never buy outside the Battle.net launcher, and I think a lot of people are like that. I assume a lot, a healthy amount of
saying you think Overwatch is doing better than Rivals does make me believe that you assume a lot.
Well, no, it is an assumption. Pardon me, it is an assumption, but it's informed by the fact that you would assume nobody's playing Warcraft 3, and yet there are probably more people playing Warcraft 3 than Marvel Rivals right now.
Well, here's
because they have a, that's just Blizzard. Like, they don't go advertise their numbers, they don't brag about it on their earnings calls, but the grapevine, I can't really just say things, is you'd be shocked how many people play Blizzard games and, versus other things.
According to this thing, I just did a search. Overwatch 2 has had 0 people play it in the last 39 minutes. They had a 24-hour peak of 27,000. That usually happens at night. That seems really low. Like, where does that put them? And I'm not saying you're right, because there's these two places to play it, but I don't think
I'll never play a Blizzard game in the Steam launcher.
Why?
Because it's like extra steps for no reason.
Well, no, if you
have a Battle.net launcher.
But if you bought it over there because you got a deal on it.
I just wouldn't, because my Battle.net stuff, I'm like a little, I guess, anal about organization in some ways. So Battle.net stuff is in the Battle.net launcher. That's why I'm not going to buy Doom in my Battle.net launcher.
Yeah, but you might buy Call of Duty over there now, or half a dozen other Microsoft things. You can get the new Indiana Jones game over there if you want.
Yeah, like I refuse to. If I absolutely have to, then I will. But on principle, Battle.net is for Blizzard things. So
gotcha.
No,
gotcha.
I just won't. Yeah,
I get it.
That's how I am in my personality. Like, and it's not to say everyone should be like me. I'm just saying I can't be the only one who thinks this way.
Well,
I guarantee that some people do. I just, if I had to guess, I would guess against you. That's all I'm saying.
They lost September 2023. They lost the most players, 10,463 players on Steam. Last month they lost 236. No, it's the last 30 days. In June they lost 2,591. Like, they're on a losing streak over there. The point is, though, it should be higher than 0. Like, that's low, because there are a lot of people that never leave Steam and never cared about Blizzard until now this game's over there. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess I think we need to see metrics from both locations, and we're only ever going to get Steam metrics.
Oh, that's true. So Blizzard's never going to tell us.
That's the problem, is I can't prove I'm right, but you can't prove I'm wrong. So
that's true.
I'm just saying, like, I never count out. We've been shocked, and you guys, I think you guys both know this. I've been shocked hearing about player counts from Blizzard from sources that I can't disclose.
Oh yeah, no, it's surprising. In some cases,
if you were to read the gaming press and read Reddit and ask, get their opinions about how badly they're doing, you would be wrong.
Yeah, they do fine.
I think the takeaway. So I'm always going to err on the side in the case of Blizzard, not because I'm a fanboy or defending them. I always err on the side of, if I think it's low, I need to triple whatever I think it is.
We should reach out to Mike Ybarra and get his hot take.
Right, exactly.
And let the internet flow toward him and away from Mike.
Ybarra has to say.
Yeah,
and then we'll just believe the opposite, and we'll be right.
And then Morheim will go,
"Hello, China,"
and then we'll be right back in it. All right, well, there's that. Let's move on to the break. When we come back from the break, we've got a Dear Martha. Yeah, you heard a taste of the music. You're going to hear some more of that later. We got another Find the Flaw lined up today, so let's see how we do. We also have the games.
It's not cruel this week.
I know, it was really hard last week.
Wrecked us last week so hard.
Really hard last week. But we also have a call and we also have a text. And what's fun about this week's call is I have not previewed it. I have no idea. I just know the guy's name is Two Button Terry, and that was enough for me.
Oh shit! We love a Two Button Terry.
Yeah, it could be Jimmy. So we'll see.
That's a 2 I like.
The other one, the text we got is from somebody named BEAU's Microphone, which I think is funny. but he has a whole other beef. Anyway, we'll get to all of that in a minute. Please stay tuned. All right, everybody, we're back. Thanks for hanging in there. We got a little Dear Martha to do. Yeah, that's right. Time for us to hear from the war front and test me and BEAU's mettle a little bit on what we know and what we don't. John, tell us what we're doing this week.
Well, this week we're doing a lot of what we did last week. It's called Find the Flaw. I'm going to read a Dear Martha letter. Somewhere in here is a factual inaccuracy that I need you guys to find. We continue to see a lot of success with this. Scott currently has 0 points. BEAU currently sitting at
1.5.
1.5 points. So we've done this for about 2 months now. So we're seeing a lot of points.
This is not years. Yeah,
not a lot of movement on my end.
I look forward to 2027 when I'm still at 1.5 and Scott's still at 0.
Sure.
And like last week was mean. I was mean last week. I promise you guys I will be a little nicer this week.
All right, a nicer, kinder Dear Martha. Here's your music.
My dearest Martha, I feel I owe you an apology for last week's Final Fantasy letter. And so I offer it in the form of this second letter about Final Fantasy. But this time, it's only about the first game in the series. It's easy to think about everything that makes up a Final Fantasy, but many were not present in that very first Final Fantasy game. Chocobos, Cid, airships, and Moogles are all well-established tropes of the series that were not present in the original version of the game. However, it was the start of many other things that would become iconic to the series. From the jack-of-all-trades Red Mage to the iconic visuals of the Black Mage, many of these things would become standard in some of the games that followed. While the turn-based menu-style combat has fallen out of fashion in the series, that first game introduced us to the fight, magic, drink, item, and run commands. The story was also a big deal, although it is fairly basic compared to where future games would go. 4 crystal-bearing heroes set out to rescue Princess Sarah from a rogue Cornelian knight named Garland, and the journey eventually comes full circle to a final battle against Chaos. Final Fantasy secured a legacy that would one day allow me to fumble you all up with just the titles, and that alone is worth the journey itself. Yours in this life and the next, Second Floor Lucan.
Gosh, dang it. This one sounds just as hard to me.
Yeah. I'm like,
All right, another thing about... At first I was like, wait, Moogles and Chocobos late editions, and then I thought, I think that's true. I think we've even talked about this. Because I'm always talking about how stupid I think Moogles are, and they're not in that first game, I don't think. So I'm not going to push that button.
If you guys think you can find it, I've pasted the letter so you can see it, Scott. If you want to find a way to put it up for the chat, who said they were distracted by the cat.
Can totally do that. I'll pull it up
they
right
can
now.
peruse it. Don't judge me on my spelling and grammatical errors. I write this very quickly before the show.
Yeah, and he writes it in the thing, and there's no spell check inside of the spreadsheet we use, so it's not John's fault.
Ding in. I think I have something.
What do you got?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. Ding.
Ding. There's no drink command in Final Fantasy 1.
So, Bo, you have identified the very reason I chose this as our letter, because I was mystified to learn that there was, in fact, a drink command in the original Final Fantasy.
I don't
For some reason, they wanted potions to be available on a separate command menu for that original game, and drink is in the original
I've
NES
played
version.
the original game, but it's been like 30 years, if not more. You know, as a young lad when I played
It's been removed in subsequent re-releases because drink befuddled the world, but
you just
existed.
item. It's assumed, that's the case.
I got one. Ding.
Scott.
Garland is not his name, the bad guy. I don't know his real name, but that's not a real name. That's not the real bad guy name.
That is his real name.
Damn it.
He is the rogue Cornelian knight named Garland.
I'm gonna ding.
Yep.
I think maybe there might have been an airship in the first game.
Bo.
Oh my gosh, dude. Shit.
Let's call you Bo 2.5 because you just got yourself a point.
Shit. Goodbye.
So, while there is no Chocobos, no Moogles, no Sid, although they did retroactively try to get Chocobos and Sid in some subsequent re-releases, airships do exist in the original Final Fantasy. Been there since the beginning.
See, I jumped off the thing about Moogles and Chocobos too fast because the airships was right there.
That one I remember, but I played this one. This was a favorite game of mine. Sweet, the gulf between me and Scott widens.
Damn it! Yeah, it does. At least that's a significant point right there. Now
it's 2 weeks now. I'm 2 weeks and a half ahead of you.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a whole lot.
Well, maybe next week we'll do Joust or something, Scott.
Oh, sweet, dude. I play a lot of Joust.
Let's get one off Scott's wheelhouse, because not that Final Fantasy is my wheelhouse, but I have played them. So.
Yeah, I played a lot of Joust, so that will definitely be an advantage for me.
It was I was going with airships as my original guess, but then I saw drink and went, "There's no drink in Final Fantasy." I knew that immediately. I wasn't 100% sure, but I had like a strong inclination.
Yeah,
and then drink came up, which that seemed like it would be the right answer, and John successfully faked me out.
Well, good job. You're now 1 point healthier than you were prior to today.
Great. I need all the health I can get.
Damn straight. Time to talk about the games we played this week. And because I was in Vegas, I didn't get to play nearly what I wanted to. The arcades were dumb, at least the ones I went to. I didn't go to Off-Strip. I'm sure there's better stuff out there. But instead spent a little bit of time playing more Red Faction Guerrilla while at the hotel and The Messenger. I've talked about those previously, so I do not need to get into those this week. But I did play a new game that I picked up on the Switch 2 for $15. It was highly recommended by a bunch of you, and also from the NintendoLife.com. They're like the big Nintendo fan site. Had given this thing like this killer review, and I was like, all right, fine, we'll try it. I played Fast Fusion for the Nintendo Switch 2, and you can't tell it here, but the video that I'm playing is in 60 frames. Here locally, it's showing up to everyone else's 30, but it's a Wipeout clone, but it has some unique differences. And there was another game at the launch of the Switch 1, or right around the launch time, that this is a sequel to. And so this already existed. It was a different name, and I cannot remember at the moment. But it has a couple of unique mechanics. As you can see, just looking at it, it looks very Wipeout, like Psygnosis Wipeout. Pretty badass, very fast. That's the one thing that impressed me the most about it. It's just really speedy. I think it proves out a little bit anyway that this console's capable of some pretty nice visuals. It is what you think it is. You're racing in this futuristic racing thing with a bunch of other ships, and you pick certain classes, and you unlock more as you go, and unlock other categories of race and that sort of thing as you get further into the game. None of that's that unique or interesting, but there's a booster system that is always regenerating based on you doing pickups. Also, this alternating phase mechanic where a big long strip of boost will show up that's orange, and you need to be in orange mode when you hit it, or else you'll slow way down. So,
interesting.
Yeah, so when you see him changing color right here in this video from blue to orange, orange to blue, it's because he's changing for those speed strips.
It's like Ikaruga.
A little bit. Actually, yeah, a lot, actually, now you say that. Weird.
I haven't thought about that one in a while.
This one also introduced a jump mechanic that makes it so you can do some pretty crazy area and jump to areas where there's like extra boost material or some reason to go up there and grab some shit or a shortcut or whatever. And it's amazing how that simple thing is as fun as it is. I thought that would be kind of dumb, but the jump mechanic's actually kind of a blast, and you can do some fun stuff with it. You can also die in horrible ways if you use it wrong, so you want to be careful. But it is very much like, if you liked Wipeout or if you like F-Zero, is one of these. And I'm having a great time. Multiplayer also very good. Playing some other people online, that was super fun. There's a whole online ranking thing. I'm not super far in the campaign, but I did get a chance to play it a bunch. It's only $15, and you could maybe argue, if there's a weakness, that there's not a gigantic track selection, but the devs have said they got more coming. So I suspect that's true. And just high-octane, futuristic ship racing stuff. Super, super fun. So
yeah, looks cool.
Yeah. I don't know. Someone in the chat room mentioned color blindness. That's a really good question, because they jump between this red or this orange and this blue speed thing. You do it with a button in the game. And the guy I'm watching right now is so good, he's never screwing it up. But if he would screw it up, you'd see how you get way slowed down. It's a neat mechanic, but if you're colorblind, I don't know how you're telling the difference between those two things, because I guess that's a...
Well, I think, as chat was saying, orange and blue tend to be two of the more colorblind-friendly colors.
Oh, is that the case? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What's the name of the game again?
I mean, it's not universal because there's so many different types of it, but red or orange and blue tend to be a little friendly in that regard.
Makes sense. Bo, it's called Fast Fusion.
Fast Fusion.
Yeah, it's neat. It's scratching my Wipeout itch.
Only, eh?
Switch 2 only, yep. And the first game was only Switch as well, so this seems like a pretty...
This game, it looks badass. It looks pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it's really neat. And for $15, it's like kind of a no-brainer. So I just got it on the eShop and I'm having a blast. So go check that out if you have a Switch. It is Switch 2 only, by the way. The first game will run on this, but this one was designed and released for the Switch 2. Okay, moving on to... that's the only game I really played that was new. I spent some more time on some other stuff, and I also want to thank Lord Mulgar, probably Mulgar, for a copy of A Building Full of Cats 2. I haven't opened it yet, but he sent me a game. This usually happens a lot when you guys find some sale items you think we might like, and so we end up getting...
They also sent it to me, so I will also extend a thank you. I haven't played it yet either, but I just got that today, and so thank you for a building full of cats.
Yeah, I hear this is a really good one of those. This is like a fine point and click and find hidden object kind of game. But I think
I've played some of these before. I played an arcade full of cats.
Yeah, same. I played that one too. It's very good. I actually really enjoyed it. And why I liked it is it was very nerdy. There's nerd references everywhere. He says in his message that this is also like that. So I'm excited.
Yeah, there's a NES cartridge in here. I'm just watching that trailer.
Yeah, lots of little references like that, which I'm a big fan of that kind of thing. So do check that out. John, let's go to you.
Hello.
Hi.
You guys made a prediction last week that come this week, I would have finished Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. You guys were correct. I finished it.
Nice.
And it was great. Like every Yakuza game out there, it was quite a journey in the form of sometimes it was ridiculous, sometimes it was hysterical, sometimes it was, very heartfelt and earnest, sometimes it was very touching. Kind of continues their long-standing tradition with these games, which is, big, bombastic, kind of crazy, and then it ends on a real, somber, heartfelt, touching, serious note, and I really liked it. I really liked how this game ended. So, it was well worth the journey, and I had a great time with it.
30% off right now in the Steam sale. So
worth it. There's a lot of game there. I eventually did just kind of say, I had been doing so much side stuff. I was on the path to 100%ing this game, and I just said, I am getting too bogged down with side stuff. I'm itching to get to other games and other things that I want to work on. I have got to just bury my head and focus on the main story a little bit, because I was grossly overpowered. I had unlocked every single skill, was maxed out except for maybe my max health all the way, but everything else was unlocked. So I was just, every fight felt really trivial, and I was like, I gotta just finish this game. I gotta power through it.
Some just a quick note: some real deep cuts on the Sega lineup, which Sega published they published the Yakuza games. They've got sales on everything cool right now, and that includes 60% off Persona games, Like a Dragon down to 60% off, Metaphor 40% off. What's the other one I saw?
Great deal for Metaphor. That was our game of the year.
Yeah, 2 Point Museum, one I've recently absolutely loved, 20% off right now. That's fairly new. So Sega having a moment here with the sales.
Yeah, I picked up some stuff on the Steam sale.
Anything you want to mention that you thought was a catch?
Well, I'll say that the Crash Bandicoot games are on heavy sale, so I picked up the Insane Trilogy and Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. And I feel like for all what would be 4 of those games, I think it was $10 or something like that. I can't remember. It wasn't that expensive, especially considering the It's About Time is a fairly recent game.
Yeah. The trilogy's only $3.99 right now, 90% off. Jeez.
Yeah. So some of that stuff was really good. I basically just cleaned up a lot of it's really cheap right now. I did pick up Marvel Spider-Man 2. Speaking of Spider-Man, his costumes, because my son seems to be drawn to Spider-Man, and so I think that might be a fun one for him to watch.
Oh, you must be proud. You love the Spiders-Mans.
Yeah, he's just let's talk about Spider-Man. And I showed him a clip from Spider-Man 2 of him fighting Dr. Octopus, and he'll occasionally go in and he'll be like, Dad, be Dr. Octopus.
That's great.
I'll be like, okay. I'm Spider-Man. He starts punching me. It hurts, but it's nice.
Kids living the dream, man.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So yeah, not a ton new to say about that beyond finishing it. It's worth it. They, they stick the landing. I don't know if it's quite as piratey as I was hoping, but that's not even really a criticism. I liked what it ended up being, but overall, I just thought it was a really fun side story in that universe, and the fact that it is considered canon to everything that's happening. Like, this is a continuation of the story. So if you liked Infinite Wealth, if you like what they've been telling, as ridiculous as Majima becoming a amnesiac pirate is, this is the next part of the story for you. So this is what
I gotta get to it. I gotta get to it so we can chat, because we're the Yakuza heads, and
yeah,
I'm so early in that game still. So
speaking of which, let me tell
the ending a lot.
Let me tell the chat real quick before I forget. You guys in the chat room today, we don't give the live chat room a lot of contest stuff. It's usually off-air stuff. So when this show ends today, I will be giving away, let's see, 2 copies. Where did it go? I lost it.
Oh, live viewers are going to get some goodies today.
Yeah, Yakuza, because it's Yakuza related. So Yakuza 0 and the Yakuza remake version. The one that's 0 is remake, right? Or is it?
No.
Oh, well, what 2 do I have?
If it says Kiwami in it, it's a remake.
Here it is. I have Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami. So is that the same game? Just one's a remake?
Yeah, so that's Yakuza 0 and the remake of 1.
Okay, so we will give those to a winner today, to one person. And we'll just pick you at random in the chat. So just be ready at the end of the show. Yakuza 0 and Kiwami in your hands, free on Steam. A big thanks to Thomas L for sending those in for giveaway. We really appreciate it. All right, John, continue your breakdown there.
Sure. So the next thing I played is I've done a few more dates in Date Everything. This game continues to be pretty fun. Like, it's weird. I only feel like I ever get about 30 seconds to play this game, because it's the thing I load up when it's like, I don't really know what to do. I gotta go to bed soon. So I'll go through like a day in it, and I'll go, all right, that's good. And so it's been real slow going, but I think this game's very well written. It's very funny. I did go and activate the toilet, so because I figured what would be a more appropriate inanimate object to talk about on Core than the toilet.
Yeah.
It just seemed fitting for our show. And I have to say, one of my favorite characters to interact with. He's a rapper. He calls it crapping, which is short for cool rapping. Yeah. And I wish I could remember more about it, except that I was like actually kind of enjoying the rapping he was doing, and was like, this is actually kind of fun. And I'm enjoying this interaction. Didn't think I was going to enjoy the toilet as much as I did. I'm enjoying it quite a lot.
Nice.
So dating the toilet was, I mean, I say dating, but like so far I don't know if I've actually gone on any dates yet. Because it's just been introducing myself to everybody so far. So it's just like I'm talking to them. And then some of them I don't understand, because some of them are in relationships with each other, like the washer and dryer are exes, and the hamper and dirty clothes are always arguing with each other. I think one of my favorite like little Easter eggs was the fireplace, because it's a big fiery guy and his name is Dante.
Oh, like Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, but here's the crazy thing. He's voiced by, I can't remember his last name, but his first name is Dante, the guy who played Rufio in Hook. Who also plays the dude in Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Firebender.
Right.
Zuko. He plays Prince Zuko. Yeah.
That actor.
So you basically have Prince Zuko, the Firebender, voicing the fire.
That's great.
And I thought there was a lot of inside jokes there.
That's awesome.
That I was really appreciating.
His name is Dante Basco.
Basco, that's it.
Yeah, I think Carter did that one. Wait, no, there's chat says dishwasher freaked her out. Something freaked her out, but the dishwasher creeped her out. Not freaked her out, but I think it was like a creepy interaction or something.
Some of them are weird. Like some of them are bizarre. You're hitting a lot of personality types. I talked to the fan, and they went with they're your biggest fan, because they're like literally the largest fan you own, and they're a lot. But they're nice, but they're a lot. Yeah. And some of them are, the bed. I really liked talking to the bed, but the bed's a little forward, because the bed's like, what? You sleep with me every night. It's like, True. The shower told me that he sees me naked all the time, and I was like, I can't argue with that. That's just a fact. That's just
true. Yeah, your shower knows more about you than you will ever know about yourself, I think.
Yeah. So
gross.
There's a lot to unpack, but I am enjoying it. There are hints that there's maybe more to the game than I've encountered so far. Like, I'm starting to pick up that there might be like a secondary story hidden in the background of this. I don't know if that's true or not. There's also been things where like dialogue options have had stat requirements in order to say them, but I have seen no way of increasing my stats. So I don't know if I'm just bad at the game, if that's a joke, or if there is a way to increase your stats in the game. I don't know, but I'm going through at a pace. It's silly, it's goofy, it's weird, and I like it.
It's doing real good, overwhelmingly positive, 95%. Can't beat that.
Oh yeah, all the versions of Ben Starr playing Dorian are pretty good. I feel like they picked the right role for Ben Starr, where he plays every version of the door, including they have a little tiny cabinet door, so it's a tiny version of him.
Yeah.
And he's got a slightly higher pitched voice, and he's just like, I'm a real door. I promise you I'm a real door.
That's great.
He still sounds like Ben Starr with a vaguely Russian accent, I think. But
I love it. These guys, and then all these amazing, like you've said, Ben Starr, and it reminded me, the voice acting cast in this is an insane thing. How many
it's
people.
So good.
Yeah.
I play it with IMDb up because I'm giddy about who all I'm talking to, because I'm like, I recognize that voice. Who is it?
Yep.
Where do I know them from? Because there's so much of it.
Yeah.
And it's just been a joy for somebody that, that's something that I do pay attention to in the games I play. It's been a treat.
I still haven't been spoiled who Liam is, and he hasn't told me either, so I don't know who I'm dating to hear Liam O'Brien.
I don't think I've met him yet.
Okay.
So
okay, good.
But, sometimes I'm not always the best at hearing it, but I do think I'd be able to pick him out if I heard him, but I haven't met him yet.
I can tell you, all I did is launch it, but this is perfect for your Steam Deck.
Whoever they got doing the TV, I couldn't remember his name, so when I went to look it up, I couldn't remember the name of the TV guy. I'm assuming it's the same guy doing impressions. He does a lot of quotes from TV programs. So, like, there's just a point where he's like, yeah, science, bitch, as he's, like, talking to you and stuff like that. He quotes a lot of TV shows. But whoever's doing it does very good impressions of the things they're doing.
Wow.
Like, so they keep changing their voice through the whole thing, and that's been a fun performance to listen to, because they just keep quoting things. And it has a funny running joke of them being like, check out all the channels I have, and then every time you go to watch something, it's like, sorry, that's left the station to go to whatever they call YouTube or Netflix.
Right. I love a good fake streaming service name. It's a good time.
Yeah.
I'm into that sort of thing. All right, cool. That game continues to be a delightful, weird-ass thing for John Jagger.
Everything.
John, you opened a bunch of Final Fantasy Magic cards on stream.
Hold on, not yet.
What'd I miss?
Let me walk you.
You know what?
Scott,
you do that, because that next one I need to hear about. Why did I do that? I don't know why. I want to hear about this one.
I know you asked about it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it.
Do it.
I booted up the remaster for System Shock 2.
Ooh.
And unlike System Shock 1, this does fall more into the remaster. Like, this is kind of just a up-res, cleanup, more of what that game was at the time, less of a remake. But it just remind me of two things. So first I got in, and for anybody who's played the intro to that game, they do this thing where they do the tutorial, they teach you the basics of the game. Although it has really shown you how far we've come in terms of tutorials, because I was like waiting for button prompts. It's like, switch to the selection form. You're like, you're in shoot mode, switch to active mode or whatever it is. No telling me what button does that. It just tells me to do it. And I'm sitting there waiting for it to say, like, here's the button you press to make that happen. Nothing comes up on the screen. The tutorial just keeps going on as if I've done it. They're like, great, let's move on. And it's like, well, wait a minute. this isn't how you tutorial. You're supposed to pause everything and tell me what button to press. I guess I'll just look it up. Which is what I ended up doing. Felt very retro. It was like, okay, go back to figuring out what your key binds are. But it was fine. The game still controls and plays pretty well. Like, it's nothing that crazy. The recoil on the weapons is a little jarring, the way they handle that. But, like, the game, you know, it feels dated, but it still feels good to play. But my favorite thing is once you complete the tutorial, they tell you, okay, you got to enroll in a branch of the military. And that's basically whatever branch you enroll in increases stats related to that branch. So like the army is going to get you more of your guns and health and strength. Then you have the navy, that's going to be more your agility, your tech, that sort of stuff. And then you have your OSI, which is like their scientific version of magic for the game. And then once you enroll, they basically go, okay, you're on assignment for the next 4 years. And you can pick from 3 assignments, and whatever assignments you pick, you get a little narrative story about what your character did for that year of their life. And it's basically just to build up stats. So it's like, oh, you worked in hazardous conditions, you know, working on repairing stuff. So your endurance went up and your ability with repair went up. And then you get a story about how that all panned out. So you do that, then your 4th year is basically where the game takes place. And I just think it's such a cool little... It's like a more interactive version of the Half-Life intro. It's slow to build up. We're not hitting the ground running. We're not starting in the middle. Like it's a slow ramp up, but we're actually making decisions, and you're growing your character, and you're learning about your character before they dump you into it, and you start going.
Can't believe they added a multiplayer mode, because back in the day that was a rumored thing, and it never transpired. They never had it in the game, and this thing now has like a co-op deal. I know.
Yeah, that's in there now.
Pretty crazy. Anyway, sorry, you were saying.
No, it's wild. And here's where I bounced off of it.
Uh-oh, shit.
A little bit. I still love this game. The story beat, it's one of the first video games I ever played that hit a narrative beat that made me just go, drop my mouth and be like, oh, what's going on with this game? But I also forgot that this was the era of save the game if you want to progress.
Oh.
And I played for a while, picking up stuff, picking stats, reading menus, figuring it out, and got to my first zombie and was like, all right, how's combat feel? And got promptly killed and went, oh, shit. And then started right back at the very beginning of the game because I hadn't saved.
Oh.
And I went, oh, right.
Oh, no.
This was back when it was on us to save the game, not the other way around.
Regular autosaves didn't exist for a while. You couldn't do that. That's crazy.
I went, oh, man, I'm not going to be able to get back in the habit of this right now. So I did. I turned it off. I will probably go back. It's not for lack of liking the game. I still think the game, and they did a very good job of making it look good, and it plays well, but... Yeah, I was really reminded, it was jarring to go back to the era of you have to save yourself. You can do it whenever, wherever you want, but you have to do it yourself. We're not going to do it for you. I was like, oh my gosh, I lost all my progress.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the last time that happened. It's been a while, but yeah, they used to, like autosaves that's a really new concept, kind of. After this, I mean, not now. Obviously,
yeah. Now it felt novel when it first came out. I was like, "What do you mean the game's going to save for me?" I don't like. At first, I think I remember being mad about it. I was like, "I didn't condone this saving."
Yeah, don't tell me to save.
What do you know, game? You're going to decide when to save the game. This seems like a bad idea. Now, if it's not there, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, how do you play this?"
You had a little bit of past shock playing future.
Yeah. That's right.
History shock.
System shock.
History shock. I like that.
So yeah, that was System Shock 2. Didn't play a ton of it, but seems very good. If you want to play one of the more classic first-person shooters, it feels like a bridge between a more traditional FPS and like Deus Ex. It kind of falls into that category of game.
All-timer. Such a great game.
Yeah. I did also open a lot of Final Fantasy Magic cards.
Yes, you did. Here's his hand.
Streamed it. Yep, there's my arm.
Yep.
holding up cards.
Yep.
I was there live for all of it.
Oh, very nice. I didn't know this. I guess I was out of town, so I couldn't have done it. But did you? I saw the aftermath. There's a photo of your floor. And it was
because I was throwing all the packaging on the floor after I opened them, and all the packaging and one card that fell on the floor.
I was enjoying the opening. I watched Garrett and Kyle opened a box, and I watched their entire stream of it, and then I told Garrett that I was like, actually, I watched your stream. It was cool. It was fun. I don't know why, but I just was playing games and watching you open cards. And then John did it, and it was the same thing. I was like playing NIGHTREIGN. And then if they had questions, I was like, "Ooh, I can help."
That's great.
Yeah, so it's up on my YouTube channel if you want to watch me open cards.
Not that I want to critique, but you did pick a difficult way to do this by having to hold up all the cards, right? Because
I know. Well, Garrett and Kyle's setup, because I watched them open it too. I'm jealous. They've got set cameras down at the bottom.
Yeah,
like they can switch to a completely different camera. Like,
you don't have a second. I thought you had Right, I thought you had a second webcam, but really you had a Zoom thing.
I had. This is just the watch. I can do it again. Here,
then
hold
there's
on.
not much you can do about that.
Like I still have it programmed, although the table has moved.
Oh, yep. There it goes.
There's my table and my drink.
Yep. I got one of those too. I love these things. It's the best. Look at that zoom. Zip. There's a stormtrooper. Bam, bam.
Right. Sorry, I made a mistake. I kept thinking you had a second camera. Yeah. Because it's like, but you do realize like your arm was probably tired at the end of all that from having to hold up the card for 2 hours. It was like a 2-hour stream.
Yeah, it was fun though. I liked it. I would do it again. I can't afford to do it again, but I had a really good time and enjoyed it. I didn't learn hardly anything about Magic the Gathering, which is fine.
Did you get anything good? Like
any played, but I've got good news for you.
Oh shit!
I
recorded a bonus show.
Hey,
the full Magic primer. So
look at that! I'm gonna have to listen to that
this afternoon, and you can post it whenever.
I would love to. That sounds great.
I'll note there was a microphone issue for about 10 minutes. I knocked the mic and it made it a little echoey, but it fixed itself after I went on break. So I left it and it wasn't that bad. But just so people are aware, there's a little mic issue.
Sure.
A small portion.
Well, I look forward to it.
I got a new cable, so should not be an issue going forward. And also, bonus show. So you maybe can learn something about Magic.
Yep. Get on the Patreon, patreon.com/core show. John, do you get anything awesome like rares and
it's hard for me to say. Like there's stuff I get excited about as a Final Fantasy fan. Like I got a Freya Crescent card, which is just a character I like. It's not I don't think it's rare or anything. It's just
it's an uncommon. So
this is a regular card, but for me, that's very exciting, right? So I get excited about that. Yeah. Somebody in chat did say I got a Sephiroth card that was worth about $36 right now.
Hey.
So I think in terms of like what I got that was valuable, I think that was probably the highest value card. I got a few others that are considered rare. I'm getting a little better at identifying what is a rare card and what isn't. Like that is one thing I got a little bit better at. But I got some of these cool foil cards. Like the one I'm holding up right now is a Garuda from Final Fantasy XIV, and it's that foil card that I just think they make certain cards look cool. Like I got Red Chocobo. That card just seems normal, but you get the cool foil of it, and it's like, oh, that card looks awesome now. So
no numbered chocobos in this poll?
No, actually, I believe the numbered chocobos you can't get in the play boosters. I think you have to get those out of the collector boosters, and those cost like $1,000, and I can't afford this, which is significantly less. Yeah. So I'm not trying for those. I do want to get another pack of boosters. In fact, I had some in my Amazon cart because I was like, I want to get another pack of boosters. I want to do this again. And then when I put sleeves on the cards that I really liked, I still had some cards that I wanted to sleeve, and I ran out of sleeves. So I added that, and I purchased my cart. And I realized shortly after, I accidentally just bought another pack of boosters.
Ooh.
And so I went to Amazon and I was like, I should cancel that. I opened it up and I was like, maybe I won't be able to cancel it. And I looked and there was the cancel button and I went, oh shit. So I hit cancel, and they're like, we'll see if we can cancel your order. And I was sitting there, and I'm like, please don't cancel. Please don't cancel. Please.
Oh, you're actually wishing it not to.
It goes, we've successfully canceled your order. And I'm like, good. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
So happy. So, yeah. I mean, that's where I'm at. I want to open more. There's some characters and cards that I'd still love to get. But, you know, I had a good time, and it was really fun to stream. So I would do it again in a heartbeat. But yeah, I also can't pretend that I didn't know that I had just spent $200 some on cards. I had to stop that.
Yeah, there comes a point, I suppose, but you know,
you got to be reasonable.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that, and that was the first stream I had done in a long time. People were excited. Like I said, it's up on the YouTube channel. Give that a watch, because YouTube demonetized me. They're like, you don't upload enough content. You don't get to monetize videos anymore. Not that I was making a lot on YouTube, but they did. They took it from me. So
the jerks.
Any comments and views you can give me is greatly appreciated.
Yeah, go sub up right now at Craftless Rogue on YouTube, guys. Get that done. Get that.
But I did a second one. I did a second stream because through all of this, speaking of Garrett and Kyle, they started streaming all of the Final Fantasies.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about this, but they're going to play through all of them.
I wonder where they got that idea from, guys. Just kidding. It's not that big a deal.
No, they probably get that a lot, given that
I started getting comments because I'm a little hard on you, Scott.
Yeah.
I frequently point out that Tsushima continues to burn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even though I point that out a lot, people point out that Sin in the land of Spire continues to run rampant, and I have not finished Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
A game that I looked it up. I last played a year and a half ago.
Yep.
Yeah, your run ended. You've got games to play, man. You got 13. I've been waiting. I'm going to play 13.
So I decided to fire Final Fantasy X back up, and I played a little bit of Final Fantasy X again. And I streamed it, and it's so funny because I was just getting back into it. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm starting to find the fun in this. I'm starting to really enjoy where the story's going. I'm having a good time. And they keep doing these summoner cloister trials where you're just moving spheres and pushing shit. And it absolutely took the wind out of my sail for the game. And I was like, okay, chat, I know I'm going to be judged. I know people are going to be mad about this. I'm just looking up a guide how to do this. Because if I don't get a walkthrough and I don't get through this stupid puzzle room I don't want to do, I'm not going to play this game for another year and a half.
No.
I approve of this. If you're playing like an old game and you just want to get through it because you want to experience it, like, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I totally do. I think that's
mechanically too. Even with the guide, it was mechanically annoying because it does this thing where you have to ride on these floating discs, and then there's multiple paths the disc can take. But so you would think that it would go to that, and then you would either input the direction you wanted to go on the direction pad, or you would pick and then hit A to confirm. But instead, it's a timing thing where you have to watch which direction the arrow's hitting, and then at a point where the disc is over it, hit the button while it's pointing in the direction you want it to go.
Ugh.
It's like, why is it this complicated? There's no reason to make it this complicated.
It's PlayStation 2 era. We weren't,
Oh, man.
Do you think there's somebody from Square who'd like to hang their head in shame and had to shame on your family? You know, there's a whole Japanese culture thing for that. Maybe.
I constantly hear people telling me Final Fantasy X is their favorite. I don't understand it yet. I know for a lot of people it was their first one, and as somebody who loves 8, despite knowing that 8's a very flawed game, I do get it. But man, I keep butting my head against that game. Every now and then it just keeps doing things. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I think 10 was the first one where the high fidelity graphics actually looked good.
Yeah.
Like on PlayStation 2, it was like a system seller for me. That's why I got a PS2.
Oh yeah, I worked at a video game store, well-known retail store at the time that it came out, and it was playing on the demo units constantly, that intro scene. So that music just lives in my head because we just had it up as a system seller because people would just come in and stare at it and be like, I've never seen games look this good before.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. That was a There was a moment there where that game was the new standard. It was like, nothing will ever look this cool again in video games. We were wrong, but at the time it felt right. So,
it felt like it would never get better than that.
Yeah.
It's definitely a high mark for sure. You're just like, holy shit.
Yep.
But my opinion is definitely is a little on the mid side personally. But,
I like the vibe of it. The vibe of it has always appealed to me on the outside. This kind of like,
but it's blitzball.
Yeah, but it looks like a party. It looks like a vacation. The whole game looks like a vacation.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of water and there's a lot of bright colors and stuff. There's stuff I like about it, but it's the first big fully voiced RPG. Like that was amazing, but the voice acting, we've come a long way. And the thing I have to keep reminding myself as I listen to it, especially our boy Titus, as he's sitting there being like, Yuna didn't tell me at the time, but I needed to learn a lot. And I'm like, oh my God, why is it so bad? But then I just have to remind myself that voice actor is the iconic animated voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, shit.
Like, amazing, right? Like, it just was a new time. It was a new time.
Yeah.
And so every time I hear him, I'm just like, he's Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Damn.
It was also the first of the corridor editions of Final Fantasy games, and that plays a role, I think, in its reception. Too.
Corridor, what do you mean?
Yeah, it feels like instead of a big open world to explore, it feels like you're just running down hallways constantly.
Oh, yeah. I've heard people say that before.
The map's like vertical north to south kind of deal, except for... But it does get cool at the end. Like, it is, if you're playing it, it does get, like, there's a finale. It's cool. It's not a bad game. I'm just saying, out of all of them, I don't think of 10 as one I'd want to play. Like, I'd...
Tim, how about 10-2? What's 10-2?
So here's the thing. When I first started playing 10, I was like, I'm definitely not playing 10-2. I'm sick of this world. I'm sick of these characters. I'm not doing it. Yeah. After last time playing it, I kind of want to play 10-2.
You should play 10-2, yes.
I kind of want to. I need to know how this summoner girl that's so serious all the time, that always sounds a little bit sad, goes from this to being like a pop star, singing and shooting guns. I want to know.
I just remember one of the girls in that has a thong that looks like it's riding all the way up her butt. That's all I remember. About 2.
Well, I'll say this. The art style in 10 is definitely like, what are we going to do for their clothes? Give a normal outfit and rip the middle out of it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people wearing like 2/3 of clothes.
Yeah.
And that's just the style, as is tradition.
Yeah. Yes. Well, that's good, though. I'm excited to hear you might be back on the gravy train there. You're going to give us what we need.
Oh, and I did put a question in here, Scott, a challenge before you. Will I stop Sin, who I'm assuming is the final baddie of Final Fantasy X, because that's what it seems to be all about, before you save Tsushima?
How far in are you, do you know, percentage-wise or anything?
I don't know percentage-wise. I can tell you how long I've played it.
Yeah, how many hours?
I've played the game for 27 hours.
John's going to beat it before you. I mean, come on.
Come on now. How do we know that? We don't know that. We don't know that. Maybe I'm
beating the game every week. He's kind of getting to be like almost like too good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he is cleaning up.
Like, I don't beat games either. I don't get any guff. Like I beat some, but like...
You also don't proudly proclaim, I'm definitely beating this game.
That's true.
That's the difference.
Yeah, the difference is I do make a lot of talk about it. Let's see. Final Fantasy X. I'm just trying to find how long to beat generally.
Remember, Scott, if you claim you'll beat it before him, that means like tonight you got to get back into Tsushima. So,
All right.
Well, I'm streaming all of it, so I only get to play it when I'm streaming. So that slows me down a lot.
All right. Main story, 45 and a half hours. Main plus a little extra, 68 and a half. And if you are a completionist, 144. I assume you're going for the low end there, somewhere between the 45 and 60. Probably.
I would guess I'm probably going to be low end unless I suddenly really fall in love with the game near the end.
And I don't think I have 45 hours left of Tsushima. So, in theory, I could beat you if I put my heart and mind to it.
Yeah.
The question is, do I commit to that right now on the thing?
The question is, can you do it?
I don't know.
Can you not play 180 different things and just finish Ghost of Tsushima?
It's a really good question.
A game you promised to finish 3 years ago.
And we're like a week and a half or 2 weeks away from Donkey Kong hitting. By the way, this week they confirmed it is the Odyssey team, which is all I needed to hear. I'm so excited.
Man,
can't wait.
I want that game. That's the other thing is it's like I want to buy Magic cards, but in the back of my head, I'm like, but what if Donkey Kong?
Yeah.
It's so good that I have to buy a stupid Switch too.
Yeah, I collect. Buy a Switch too, dude. Save it for the Switch too.
Yeah,
the cards they're fun to collect. They're great to have, but if you're not playing with them,
Yeah, but you can give them to your son. One day he'll cash them in for the 38.
Yeah, well, he's got cards. That's what I'm saying. You've got like cards that you can start playing with. You don't need to get more.
It's true.
Good point.
Although you have more coming, or no, they canceled it. Okay, so
I canceled it.
Yeah,
sadly. Tragically, I canceled my order.
It didn't go through. Very sadly.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Honestly, I think in the long run it'll work out for you. Maybe build decks and just play with what you have, and maybe go on Arena, try some free decks if you're just feeling like tempting to learn. And save for that Switch too.
Well, and the gambler inside of me that doesn't exist, but if he did, he would say, well, if you keep getting the cards, one of these is going to pop and be worth $600, and that will buy you a Switch and a half plus games. You know what I mean?
Gambler's fallacy.
Yeah. This next one's going to be the one. That's for sure.
Yep. But I don't have that.
It is possible to profit, but generally what you're doing with Magic cards is selling the big ones and breaking even and hopefully keeping other cards. I think if you're trying to make money at it, you're one of those crazy people buying 100 boxes, and they exist out there.
Do they really?
There are places you can buy singletons like TCG Player and stuff like that. So presumably they sit there and open 100 boxes and sell the singles.
I know Post Malone does. He does it. He buys them by the stack, and then
some people buy just in huge bulk, and that's cool.
Got the money.
You need the money for it.
Isn't he the one who owns the One Ring?
Mm-hmm.
So
he does. Bought it for, I can't remember what he paid, in the millions. Million and a half.
It was like 2 million something.
Yeah,
I think
about Bo's score on our weekly contest. 2.5 million.
I don't have 2.5 billion points.
No,
it's 2.5.
2.5.
But yes, no, it's not a way to make money. Okay, unless you're a professional at it, buyer beware. Do not buy it. Just keep your money. You'll make more money.
When you say professional, you mean like player, right? Not collector, or what do you mean?
No, professional collector, or storefront. Like there are people who work the secondary market in Magic and profit at it, for sure. But they have to sell it, so they have a storefront. Maybe they're running a website as well. They're going to conventions and setting up booths and selling their product there, et cetera, et cetera. Mm. So there are people who professionally buy and sell trading cards, and specifically Magic ones, and I would hope that they're earning some money for themselves, but you never know.
I think I saw a couple of those storming into a Costco at opening hour trying to rush the stacks. Yeah. I caught those box stores are big because the prices will get jacked up, but those stores have no idea what anything's worth. So if you can get your hands on some boxes at MSRP, that's for a set that has a high likelihood of having chase rares in them. Yeah. That's definitely a tactic for sure. So it's kid gambling, but adult. Really is what we've done. Yeah, I mean it's adult gambling considering how much it's just full on gambling. I just realized, there's kid gambling, which is claw machines and stuff, and then there's gambling. There's no adult gambling. It's like when I say man wiener, it's just wiener. There's no man wiener because there's boy wiener. Well, I mean, lady wiener's a thing too, right? I think is there? I don't know. I don't want to get to that. Hey Scott, can you full screen me for a minute? Yeah. Hold on. I got to give you some music. Okay, here we go. Yeah, go ahead. Hi, everybody. John here. Yeah. I know you haven't heard from me for a minute. It's because I decided to not participate in this conversation. Sometimes not participating is the true path to victory. Yeah. I think that's smart. You know what? I'm really glad we had this moment that you paused, that you popped in and gave us your hot take. Does that mean we have to stop? Nope. We can keep going. No, I just wanted everybody to know. Well, all right. We'll let you know. We'll keep you informed on the Tsushima versus Final Fantasy X-10 competition. Next week, we'll do a little follow-up. I am now committed. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to beat that game before you beat yours. There you go.
Oh shit, gauntlet laid. I'll be here for the humiliation next week.
Well, I guess it depends on how fast John plays. I guess I should hurry.
Well,
he said he's going slow.
It's a holiday.
Pace.
We're celebrating my dad's birthday tomorrow, so not streaming anything tomorrow. Then we got the weekend. I'm probably going to be busy with the kid, so they're probably not looking at anything till Monday, but then he's here and I'm watching the kid at home Monday. But the one thing that might bite you is the family is going on a vacation and I'm staying home.
Oh, shit.
So there is going to be some free time coming up.
I got to be some Yuna and Lulu in this house.
I got to figure out how you do that, how you get to stay home. Do you just say, I'm not going? Like, what are you doing? How are you making that happen? When they go,
I just have a general air about me that you will have a better time without me than with.
Yeah, I can see that. You definitely have an aura when you're like, you're just like, no.
I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna gonna be less agreeable when people want me to go places, so I can have more time to stream and play.
You just have to make it. You have to have people do the math in their head and go, well, it'll probably be more fun if he isn't there.
Yeah.
So that when you say, no, I don't think I want to go, they go, okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds better for everybody.
Well, I am going to stream it too, not because this is...
Oh, you are going to stream it?
Well, here's the reason why. I've streamed some of it already, but the reason I'm going to stream the final stretch is because that will keep me going. Like, that will keep me focused. People are there. It's like I'm talking. I don't know what it is, but when I've really got to focus and finish something, that's why I do the horror games that way. Well, that and everyone thinks it's funny that I scream like a girl, but yeah, I want to do it now. I feel the pressure. I'm going to do it. It's happening.
All right.
Bo, let's talk about what you played. I can't wait to hear about your first one. Sure. It's not a video game though, but it's close.
It's a video game board game, and it's Slay the Spire, the board game. I finally got to play it with Mike and Crofton on Sunday. And that was a lot of fun. I wasn't sure how they were going to respond to it because it's so video gamey and it's so, card gamey, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, let's give this a try. And I'm happy to report that by the end of it, they were like, I want to play. When you play a board game with people and then they think about buying themselves, you've got like a hit on your hands. So it's everything that's good about Slay the Spire in terms of the pace of rewards. Like every time you do a combat, you get an extra card to add to your deck. And they've kept the numbers low. So in the video game version, you have health pools of 100 and stuff like that. And like attacks of like 50, it can get really out of control. So what's actually pretty great about Slay the Spire is the board game is that the numbers are quite low. Like attacks do 1 damage. Now you can, increase the damage and double it up, but it never gets crazy in terms of the math, the crunch of it all. So it's really well handled. It's cooperative. Mike loves cooperative games to a point that he won't play competitive games because it engenders, bad feelings. And in particular, it brings out the worst in Crofton, who just constantly wants to win and complains that he was cheated if he doesn't win, even though half the time he cheats because he didn't read the rules properly. So this game, we're all working together and on the same team. So none of that friction comes up. And it's just, I got to say, I got to praise as a person, as a compulsive organizer of like my files and File Explorer and Windows and of my Magic cards and like all my nerd items. This is the most organized box of goods in board gaming history.
Jeez.
To the point that it has a storage guide showing you how to put everything back in the box properly, which if you've ever played these nerd games, you can never figure out which tokens go on which thing, and then the board doesn't sit properly, and the box doesn't close fully. Like the number of problems I've had with board games and not store. Look at this. Look at that piece of plastic and how everything fits in perfectly. Oh my god, I'm aroused. Like just looking at it. It's so well organized. Like it's so good.
I didn't know that about you. That's actually kind of neat to know that you're into that.
Yeah, I'm very like OCD about my nerd shit being like to the point where when we stopped playing, we weren't finished our run. So we had to save the game. Mm-hmm. So I took photos of everyone's state, and Crofton's like, oh, let me do something. I'm like, no, I will take care of this. I do not trust you to organize shit. This is Mike. You guys go talk. I will store things because I am a superior being of organization.
Damn.
And I got it all back in the box. Very good. Anyways, game's a big hit. Everyone, I think Crofton and Mike were not full believers at the start, and they ended the session, which at being like, oh my God, I just want to keep playing. It was like midnight and everyone was tired. So we wrapped it up, but it was like, it's got the goods. And it's, the game is lethal. If one person dies on your team, the whole run is done and you can't res people. So you're very much incentivized to make sure you keep your teammates alive and talk and cooperate to keep people alive. And there is a shit ton of cards in this thing, and it comes with a shit ton of sleeves. And I've never seen a game come with sleeves for the cards. I think I talked about this last week because I just loved it so much. In practice, it works so well. When you upgrade your card, you just flip the card onto the back of the deck, and it's great. The health is done with this cube system where you put cubes on the cards. You can kind of see these red boxes on what you're showing.
It's curious about that. Yeah,
it's super easy to track health on the cards, and the cubes are great. It's just, this thing just works. It works. It's so smooth, and you can play it single player by yourself. Although, why would you? I think I just play the video game, but maybe it'd be fun for a stream or something.
That's a fair point. Yeah,
yeah. But it is a bit of a different beast. Sometimes it's just fun, tactile, have those items in your hand. And
if you know the game pretty well, let's say you play a ton on PC. And now you have this, other than the introduction of co-op and that sort of thing, is it immediately, like, as a player of the game,
all the cards are the same. Okay. Like, they're literally the same cards and the same curses. Like, it's literally the game. It's so comical that it's like, I just intuitively understand how to play. But it's fun to play with people who haven't played and, just help them out and stuff. So, yes, this game was just so easy to pick up. You still have to know the rules, like, because everything's done with symbols and it's minimalist in terms of text, which again I love. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to look up a symbol just to make sure you understand how weak and vulnerable work and stuff like that. And there's a few things to look up, but it was all pretty painless compared to a lot of games I've played in terms of clarifying things. So super good on the rules, and it's so like the game. There's an achievements list where you can just check off if you've done something in the book.
Wow! And
there's an unlock list, so. You earn unlocks for a run, and then you get to unlock more cards to permanently play with, just like you do in real roguelites, like in video games. And there's 13 ascension levels of difficulty. So once you've completed a run, you can increase the difficulty 13 times, which I was like, wow, that's incredible. And it even has
they put a lot of thought into this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And there's a secret fourth act, but you have to get 3 keys by doing specific things on your runs. And then when your team has gotten the keys, you can unlock the fourth act. And
they've actually figured out a way too to take that original awful art style that I hate about the original game, and make it work here. Like, it actually looks cool with that, and it's still recognizable for what it is.
I think why it works is it's board game. It's on paper and it's saturated a bit more. Mm-hmm. So it pops a lot. Like the materials are very high quality. It pops a lot with more saturation in the color. And I think the worst part about the art is not necessarily the actual art of the cards or the heroes themselves. It's the combat phase where you're your dinky dude and then you're hitting the other guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like that. It's like that. However, I will say, Mike and Crofton both commented, the art's a little not great, but works fine. It's still that style where you're like, man, I wish.
For me, it's a glow up over the game. The game is ugly. It just is.
Yeah, it is a glow up on the base game, and it's if it's an indie developer and it's this is the artist they have to use because it's a 2-man team and they're not getting another artist.
Right.
It's kind of sucky to say, but if you're that person listening to this and getting shit on constantly, but I don't know. I definitely would love one of those just a different aesthetic. This with the Darkest Dungeon aesthetic would be so bomb.
Oh man.
Or you can think of any number of artists. I just think it's comic booky, which is fine, but not in a good way, Mm-hmm. But some of the art's good. The hero panels have really good art. So
yeah, they really expanded on what the original was. The original stuff looked like a friend you went to detention with, and he scratched this on his desk in between the teacher walking past.
Yeah,
and it's fine. There's an aesthetic to that. But even the second game, which we've seen trailers and stuff for, they are clearly trying to take the massive millions of dollars they've made and grow this thing to look better, feel better, behave better, but
it's still going to look like Slay the Spire.
Yeah, you can't leave it entirely. Yeah,
I don't think it's like accidental. Like we just have a kind of mid artist and it's just going to look mid. I think they do it with intentionality. Like they want it, like the way Warframe looks kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah,
they're never going to make it look like Genshin Impact or something like that. Like I think there's an intentionality behind the design, and I guess maybe they like it.
Sure.
And people, I think the game doesn't win. People aren't like, man, the sick art, I got to buy this. They're like, oh, the sick gameplay. Like it's just
it's kind of
there's something about the loop where you feel rewarded and you feel like your runs are very different based on all the crazy relics you get.
Yeah,
that just makes it like kind of the GOAT.
Yeah, and it created. So. I mean, it pushed the envelope so much further on these kinds of games. It
was also first to market, which is Cause we were just playing single player in Hearthstone before Slay the Spire came along.
This is for card games and deck builders that what's it called, the one John loves.
This is Vampire Survivors.
Vampire Survivors. It's like that.
Ah, okay.
Same thing. Yeah. First to market and kind of undefeated.
The only thing that's come close is like Balatro, and that's about it, right?
Yeah, but I would even say Balatro is like very different. Like everyone's trying to take this game and not copy Slay the Spire, and I get that, but at the same time, I want that. But like, no, I have 26. So I've been categorizing my games. I have 26 of these single player deals. And still the one I think I like the best is Slay the Spire. Even if I love Griftlands. Griftlands is great.
Griftlands is great.
You and I both played a ton of Gory. No, is it Gorian Quest? No.
You're talking about
there's that hero one, not Across the Obelisk.
The one with
Gordian. Yeah,
Gordian Quest. I love that game.
It was like it was not strategic. Like I found it very easy. It's like Diablo where you get kind of OP and you're doing shit. Yeah. Just kind of clearing rooms. Like it
felt good though because you were always getting loot and it was color coded loot and it felt good.
Yeah, but the art was good and it had a story. Like everything was great about it. It just wasn't when I play Slay the Spire, I'm never sure I'm going to finish a run.
Right.
Because it's challenging. Like shit can go wrong very easily. And I find a lot of these games are pretty forgiving for the most part. Monster Train can actually be pretty challenging on that scale.
Yeah.
But a lot of games, it's hard to nail the balance. You either have a game that is too punishing or you have a game that is ultimately too easy once you figure out like the strategy of it. And I always find Slay the Spire is always challenging. There's always a challenge in that game.
Well, awesome.
Anyways, board game's great. I recommend big time.
I want to get it. I'm going to get it. All right, tell us about more NIGHTREIGN time.
Next up in my gaming week is I played the new Night Lord Centaur. I've kind of been on a bit of a break from NIGHTREIGN because I played it a ton, and I beat him I think on the third try. I didn't really stream it. And yesterday, Sentient Pest is now released as the third ever Dark Boss. And on the first attempt, I was with two real kick-ass players, and we pwned everything up to it, including the boss. Like it was so easy mode, just because everyone was playing really well. So the Sentient Pest is basically a butterfly and like a scorpion, and they tag team you. And then what happens with this boss is once you kill them, there's a third phase where there's a rot butterfly that resurrects and keeps rezzing the two, and you have to keep fighting them while all three of them are attacking you.
One of them looks like a moth. Is it a moth?
Yeah, it's a moth.
Okay.
So not a butterfly. They're like moths.
Nasty.
And as you can see, I'm dodging out of the way. I've grown to love the Duchess. The Duchess she's got a lot of iframes with her dodge, and she gets to use magic and daggery stuff, can just do bonkers damage. And it is a lot of fun to play. And that's, I think, the fun thing. I'm using this magical bow and arrow that I've never used in Elden Ring, and I've never used anywhere. And for the first time ever, I have this build that's like, I'm just going to use this magic bow, and just keeps the game fresh where I'm just doing new stuff all the time.
Does it give you any desire to go back to Elden Ring?
Yes. Except two things. One, I'm worried about fall damage because there's no fall damage in this game, and I'm going to jump off so many cliffs.
A lot.
Yeah. But yes, no, I haven't finished Shadow of the Erd Tree, and I'm like, I should just even to log in and finish the DLC, I definitely should. But the problem is most of my time spent playing NIGHTREIGN right now. So, but yes, the answer, John, is yes. Yeah.
Well,
but it's funny. I beat this the first try. I'm almost like, I might not play this the rest of this week. Like, I'm at a point now where I've unlocked every skin available for purchase. I've unlocked every relic. I was playing with Garrett, and he helped me get my last achievement to defeat all the Night Lords with every character. So that's done. I've 100% of the achievements. The only thing I have left is a few remembrance stories, and really that's the matchmaker boss that I have to fight. The queue is so bad, and every time I get queued up with people, they're not as for these like hard modes. You tend to get people who've already completed content, so they play a little better, and the runs go a little easier. But you get folks that do very questionable things in the remembrance queues, and it can make it hard to just achieve. It takes time. That's all. I don't really get toxic or whatever, but it's just like it's people it's levers. Like, in Heroes we had that problem where it's just like they're playing bad, they're blaming you, and then they abandon the match.
Yeah,
and,
the worst.
It's literally like I will have a run where like it feels like we're doing just fine, and then there's one death and somebody leaves and another person leaves, and they've left because they come back and leave again because they can't start another match until this match is done, and then then you go in another match and you play with perfectly competent people and you just pound the crap out of the enemy.
Can I ask you about this UI for a second? These are the three of you, right? These are the heroes?
Those are the three bosses.
Oh, okay. I don't love how they just put that on top of you. I don't know.
I don't either, actually. Like, it makes sense when it's one. It's there for you to look at. But when it's three, it's definitely makes your screen pretty busy. I mean, it hasn't affected my gameplay, but it is not the best place for them.
It's just weird. I agree. Weird choice. Cool. All right, that game continues. You know what they should do? What's their mech game? I always forget the name, just like I do with Dishonored.
Armored Core.
Armored Core needs a mode like this. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Do something with mechs and mech bosses, and get me with my friends playing mechs. It's From Software. You got the net code. You're all set. Just get it done. What are you doing? You slacker ass mother effers. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, so that game was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed that. And all this Magic talk has got me playing Magic. I played a ton for like 2 days, and I was like, now that I'm done with Limited and spent down my money, I still got some, but like for the most part, I've almost got the full collection of Final Fantasy cards. I'm going to play some Constructed, and so I built a Yuna Reanimator deck with like all the summons, like Bahamut and Knights of the Round. Nice. And I pitch the basically Bahamut and Knights of the Round to the graveyard, and then I reanimate them with Yuna, who brings enchantments, including enchantment creatures, from the graveyard back to the battlefield, cheating them out for less mana than if you just hard cast them with mana. So I think I was ahead of the curve on making this deck, it felt like, because I went from bronze to diamond in like 2 days.
Jeez.
And
well
diamond
done.
is like diamond is one tier away from mythic, which is like the top, legend. But it's a lot of ground to cover in a day. Now, I played a lot of matches, but I kept playing because I kept winning and pounding. But however, there was some bans that happened, and the meta is kind of in flux right now. So there's this other deck that has a lot of great graveyard destruction that's affecting my deck. But I had a great couple of days just doing nothing but winning all day. And I only wanted to play a little bit, but just because I was shipping it so hard. I was like, I want to keep playing.
When you said banned, you mean cards that were banned or players that were banned?
Cards.
Oh, okay.
So there were some boogeyman. There actually hasn't been a lot of standard bans, but there's this mono red deck that wins on turn 3.
That seems
like
too
imagine
early.
sitting down playing a Magic game, and then they did a pro tour, and every pro was just playing this red deck or this deck that wins on turn 3. And they finally were like, okay, we need to do something about this. Yeah. It's not. Imagine you bought some Final Fantasy cards, and then you go on Arena to play, and then you get all your fun Final Fantasy cards, and you get blown out in 2.5 seconds.
That's not good.
So if you know what you're doing, you can build counter decks to it, obviously. But even then, the counter deck struggled. However, I had done mine well enough that I was able to get my wins out against them. Thanks to a card called Esper Origins. But not everyone has different skill levels, and whatever. There's a bunch of new players coming in, and the lower the rank you are, the more likely the broke boys are playing broke boy decks, and red deck wins is it's like a 10-cent deck. There's no rares in it. It's all commons and uncommons. So it's the easiest deck. So not only does it have the highest win rate, it's the easiest deck financially to assemble as well. And that's usually what a red deck wins is, because they have things like haste and damage to the face. But it's so egregious, and I'm glad they banned it, but it messed up the meta for my deck. So in a way, I was like, can we go back to the broken meta? I solved it just fine. But I think if you're like a casual person getting into the game, being welcomed by decks that kill you on turn 3, you would be very, you'd be like, man, this game sucks.
Yeah.
You know? So
yeah. Well, that's great.
So hopefully
to give you an idea of how much I learned just by opening Magic cards, I mostly didn't understand what Bo said, but he said some card names, and I was like, I got that card when I was opening them. Esper
Did you get a
Origins,
Una?
I have that card.
You have Una?
I don't know if I have Una. I do have Esper Origins.
Yeah, Esper Origins is sick.
I don't know if I got Bahamut as a summon.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but yeah.
Knights of the Round, they're all like mythics.
No,
like,
I didn't
the deck's
get
pretty
Knights of the
expensive.
Round,
I put together, but all my time in limited, I was able to, pretty much maxed out my collection for Final Fantasy quite a bit. So
nicely done.
I got so like in love with playing my Unicard, I picked up an alternate art card for her. So
nice,
cool in my arena. So when you're getting beat by a cute little anime girl, the giant dragon.
I got the art card for that. I think if it's Una anime, like I got like that as a art card. Yeah,
that's what my card looks like, but it's with the rules text and the actual card. So
yeah,
it's fun. I had fun. Played a ton of Magic because I was winning.
Nice.
Out from that, played a bit of Valheim, of course, and John inspired me. I have an unfinished playthrough of Yakuza Kiwami. So actually last night I was like, I need to finish this game. But I got in and realized there are the side missions really messed me up. Like I feel like I got to do them. So I had to do my like dates with Yui. There's just a date system that's part of the sub stories, so I got to finish the sub stories. It's not that I got to do everything, but I want to do all the sub stories, and the sub stories are usually tied to like some mini games. So I started doing dates, and I fought Majima like 5,000 times. So the mechanic in Yakuza Kiwami is that Majima's everywhere as a policeman, a disco dancer, a guy in a manhole, construction worker. Like he just hides around and challenges you to fight constantly, and then you rank up from F, D, C, B, A, S, double S, and now I'm on triple S.
Yeah.
So I'm still ranking up his triple S form. So that's all I did. Like I didn't really progress the story in any meaningful way. I'm like still working on my Majima everywhere, but I was like, oh, it's good to be back. Good to be back playing Yakuza.
You should try to beat that before Final Fantasy X or Tsushima get beaten.
Well, I'll tell you, there's 2 games that I'm really thinking about playing right now. They're older games, but I've been really they've been on my mind a lot. And one of them is Final Fantasy 13. I kind of want to play 13 and the 2 sequels because of Magic. The same reason why John's playing 10 again is the Magic set is also making you think of all these fond memories of different games. Yeah. And like 13 is one that I like.
It has made me realize I have a massive blind spot when it comes to 13 and 15. I know nothing about those games for the most part. I played a decent amount of 13, but not a lot.
I played a bunch of 13 myself. I like 13. I like the setting of 13. They got real serious with themselves.
13 is quite good. And I'm curious about the 2 sequels. It's like a trilogy, like the Final Fantasy VII. I'm like, there's a whole ass trilogy here waiting to be played. Even though I think the last one is kind of a weird one. So it takes place like in the future, and all the other characters are dead. Is what I read about it. So it's like
shit.
But Lightning is a very special person. So, but I don't know. I might play that. The other game I was thinking of starting up is Death Stranding because I am just so sick of talking about that game and no one having played it. Yeah. So I may give it another go.
I had that temptation too. I was sitting there and I was like, I don't like speaking authoritatively on something that I don't know on, and it's been coming up a lot, and it's like I don't know because I've put an hour into it, and so I don't know.
Yeah, same. So I may actually dig into that, take a bullet for the team on that one. I might end up liking it. Who knows?
You may love it. Who knows?
Yeah, that's the whole point. Is I just kind of the whole vibe I'm critical of like Hideo, he's a genius and whatever. But like, if the game's good, the game's good. Like, I don't care what he's like, and I should just try it.
And the raves for the new one they're hard to ignore. Like,
Not that anybody has to play anything, but what if one of you played Claire Obscure Expedition 33 so that it didn't get really awkward at Game of the Year?
I mean, I'm further than any of us compared to me and Bo, but I'm only to that. You remember where I got?
I landed on the island. I
got a little further than you. I got deep into that. Well, not deep, but into that island a bit.
Oh, okay.
So we're probably 20 minutes apart or something.
It is an RPG, but it's not long. It's like 40 hours. Not even that.
I have no reason not to be playing it, except for I think I had one of my hype window problems. It's not that I think it's bad or any of that. It's
definitely a hype window for me too. Yeah,
I just felt that like, oh gosh. But then I know I'm going to play it, so I need. But your point is a good one. Like at the end of the year, we're going to be raving about games that don't hold a candle to it.
Actually, I think mostly the problem is NIGHTREIGN happened, and it came out of nowhere for me. Like NIGHTREIGN disrupted any plans, and like I was sort of expecting to be into Dune Awakening too, which I was also saving my time for, but I'm not feeling it.
It's not pulling me out either. Also, I got pulled in by that massive brand new title, Super Mario Odyssey from this year.
Brand new Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the new Donkey Kong game by the same team isn't going to have any impact.
No sway at all. But
so listen, John, I am going to also make sure I keep Claire Obscure installed, and I'll put that on my list. I'm trying to organize it because like I had this to-do list in Steam of 127 games.
Good Lord.
I'm like, this is it's stressing me out so hard
don't do
that
it.
I got rid of it. I just organized. Like, that's why I spent some time organizing my categories, and I got rid of the to-do list because
sometimes just having a list is too daunting.
I just don't care. There's no way I'm ever playing all of that. So it's not like I'm keeping a list, but I'm just having like whatever's in the immediate realm of interest. So
I've been thinking about going through my list, categorize them by things I've never launched, not big long games, but like all the little bitty ones, and then just fire up a stream and go in and just open the door a little and go, what do we got here?
So you have some play time on everything?
On every game I've ever owned.
I was trying to do streams like that where I'm like 30 minutes per game.
Yeah.
The problem is if you're just playing it and don't like it, it's like it's boring content. You're like, oh, what's going to happen now?
Shitty 30 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Or if you like it, you end up playing 2 hours, and you're like, well, shit, I want to stop streaming and get hungry.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So it doesn't work. As someone who tried that, it's not the best idea.
I try to do a balance. What I've been trying to do, and so far this year it's worked pretty well for me, is I have tried to go one game from this year that's more with the show in mind, right? Like it's probably going to be something we talk about, Game of the Year. It's probably going to be something that's relevant. And if I like it, I stick with it and I try and finish it. And then I try to do something palate cleanser where it's like, it doesn't matter if I finish this. I'm not playing this to the end. This is just something to kind of wipe the slate clean. Sometimes that can be 2 or 3 games before I then go, okay, time for something else that I want to be serious about. Right now I'm kind of in the in-between because I just finished Pirate Yakuza. That was one of my big goals for the year because that was last year my most anticipated game for this year. It was number 1 on my list, and I thought it's going to look really dumb. We get to Game of the Year, and I didn't even barely even played the game I was most excited for. So I decided to put some time into it.
Sure.
And now I'm in the in-between. I got to decide what's next. I might go back to Avowed. I tried to load Avowed up.
Oh, I've been in the mood.
And I was so lost, but I got so far in that game, and I'm like, I think I have to start over. And the idea of starting over is making me go, I don't really want to do it.
Yeah.
But I also got in and I was like, I don't remember how to do anything. I don't remember what I was doing. I don't remember why I'm here. Who is this blue man that sounds like Garrus? Like
the best character in the game. That's who that
That's
is.
Another one that I did enjoy Avowed quite a bit. So that is one that I do want to get to before the end of the year.
Yeah, I do too. But I also need to get to the many others.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of games. Bo, I wanted to show this photo of you guys at lunch here. Let's look at you guys.
Yeah.
Looks like a Santa convention or something. You guys are...
Yep. Sure
I like it. You know?
It's a shopping mall Santa convention.
Yeah, they're like sharing tips. There's Bo with his way. It's a very, look at you. It's such an affable guy.
This is why my skin and nose is peeling right now. It's in the sun.
Oh, this is what happened. And who? Okay, so tell me who this is so I can match
That's
faces.
Zag, aka Swordfish. I forget his first name. I only know internet names.
All right, he has very hairy arms, and I respect them. Then
he's on our raid team, so he's Zag in the raid.
Who does he play in the raid though? What character? Do you remember? Or what class?
Don't remember.
I don't either. I'm longingly looking at his arms.
Actually, we can find out. I think on like a roll call. It's just I'm bad with this stuff.
Now over here we got who's this?
That's Valmathras.
Okay,
I believe he's a warlock.
He's the human warlock. He's the human warlock. I believe he's the warlock. It sounded funny.
Just, if you don't know the context of it, it's an incredibly funny conversation where it's like, who are these real life people you're meeting? That's Valmathras. I believe he's a warlock.
Yeah. Part of the issue with this stuff is some people don't play more than one character as well, and so I'm never sure who. I just have a hard time lining up the names sometimes.
I do it too. I think he's the human warlock I always gave a little poop to for being a human.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he's Valmathras in the game. He's Valmathras in the forum. So let me just see here.
He makes a mean portal and does some pretty sweet DPS. He's good.
But what's really funny is like Valmathras' name is Nick because he's Nick DJM on Discord sometimes, so I remember that part.
Right.
But he lives in Ottawa with me, and he's a longtime listener. But Zag is a longtime instance listener, and just joined Core because
why
there was
not?
a guild around or whatever.
Sure.
And then only recently started listening, so he didn't know what the 10 hams deal was and stuff like that. Like, why are they talking about 10 hams and what's this?
We got our own stupid language here now. That's how it is.
Yeah, but no, they were both very nice guys. I wasn't sure what to expect because you raid with people, so I know them to be nice. Like you get the sense of their personality when you play with people. But they actually seemed like okay people.
Frog Pants / Tadpole people, they're all so nice.
Where
sometimes I wonder.
Super close to my house, so they got to see where I lived.
Yeah.
Because we were walking around, and I was like, okay, this is where I live, and then Nick caught his cab home.
Yeah.
I doxed myself to them, but I think it's okay.
I do too. I think they're really nice guys.
Take it as an invitation to come over, hang out a little bit.
They better not, because it's not like there's not much accommodation here. Like I live with my mom. It's only the top half of a house. There's no place to entertain or to hang out.
There's a cat.
And did you show it by, hey, there's my house. This is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
I didn't bring them in because there's really nothing to see. Like this is the kitchen right there, and then this is my office. I don't have entertaining space where I live, so there's just nothing to do here. I just come over if you want. You'll be hanging out outside, I guess, awkwardly and weird. So but anyways, it was nice to meet them. They were nice people, and
that's great.
We'll do another Ottawa get together maybe at some point with all the Ottawa Canuck heads. I don't know.
Hell yeah! Look at everybody meeting up these days. It's nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it. That's the games we played. We do have some quick correspondence. That's
a good question.
And we're going to start with this call that we got. I've not previewed this. I just know the dude's name is 2-Button Terry. It was on the post. I don't know what he said. I don't know what he's calling about. So
we know who that is.
This is a roll of the dice.
Yeah, a little bit of a roll. I even have a D20 here in case we need it somewhere. Anyway, here we go. Let's see what he has to say.
I have a question. Scott sounds impeccable on the show. John sounds impeccable on the show. Bo is always dealing with some mic problem or another. Could you guys send him a proper setup? Thanks.
That's what it was. I had no idea that's what that was.
Why would you call yourself 2-Button Terry?
Can I just point out?
It's not very 2-Button Terry.
2-Button Terry's audio was amazing.
It was really good, yeah.
And I have to respect somebody that's going to call in mad about the audio who has amazing sounding audio.
Yeah. I mean, that baby.
I got good sounding audio.
Today you sound amazing.
Today,
we just had
now that
issues
you
last
stuck
week.
it in a different hole with a different cord.
Well,
yes, but you
sound great today.
The other cord is fine. It's just if you jiggled it gets unfine.
It gets double fine.
Honestly, I think I bought that cord in 2013. So
holy shit,
it is like a 12-year-old cable. So. For sure, and I think Cat likes to play with it. I think you might.
Scott, you didn't get the names or anything messed up because that was all about Bo's microphone, and our text is from Bo's microphone.
That's a different guy, and that is also an actual name he used.
Great.
So this is just a text. He says, "Please, Lord, help me. Elden Ring DLC is not Game of the Year content. Signed, BEAU's microphone." That's what he wrote. It's in the thing. I have the archive. Literally, that's what the guy called himself.
So the person referencing Heroes of the Storm has microphone complaints.
Yeah.
The microphone name guy, no relevance to the microphone.
No, but I feel like it's a subtle one. Maybe he's making a comment there at the end with his name. I don't know.
No, he's saying NIGHTREIGN is, for the love of God, NIGHTREIGN's not Game of the Year content. To which I say, you have not played NIGHTREIGN.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you do not know me and Mike Tasting Games.
They also don't know our rules here, which are a lot looser than you think. We don't discriminate. If
it's our Game
of
the Year.
Yeah.
We're not like doing objectively speaking, this has to be the Game of the Year. We was like, no, what did we play the most that made us the most happy?
Yeah, I mean, we usually have a separate category for best non, like this year it'll be best non 2025 Game of the Year. But if we didn't have that, it would be totally fine to be like, hey, my Game of the Year was I don't know, something came out 5 years ago because it's what I played the most.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. It's what you played the most that year. It's your Game of the Year.
Right.
NIGHTREIGN aside, the best thing I played this year was FF7 Rebirth with a bullet. You know, like Clair Obscur will not reach that level for me, and I've played a bit of Clair. I will like it, but I will not beat Final Fantasy VII for me. Yeah. I can guarantee that. Okay. So unless I can't guarantee it, I'll leave the door open because I can be wrong for sure. But,
no, guarantee it. Yeah. See if you surprise yourself.
Yeah,
but I mean, I feel very strongly. Although NIGHTREIGN's number one, so like NIGHTREIGN number one, Rebirth number two. But yeah,
we have time to determine.
It's not DLC; it's a standalone game. Also, I get the derision about it because it is, a asset flip.
We're still like half a year away from Game of the Year.
6 months.
So a lot of things can happen.
That's true.
We usually do ours in January too.
Or we could say we only have half. We've already burned half the year. We only have half a year left.
Half-Life 3 could come out this year. Cyberpunk DLC that they could come out this year.
Crazy things could happen. I don't think Half-Life 3, but you don't know.
No, you don't know. We don't know, and that's why.
I think if I'm just saying, if there is a Half-Life 3 and it comes out, it's not going to be one of these. In 2 years, you'll see it. It's in development. It's going to be like it's coming out next week. That's how Valve's going to do it. So
sure feels like it. I don't think you're wrong with that. If they do that, if they do make an announcement, it's not like, all right, see you in 6 years. I don't think it's like that.
No,
I think the big three. Here's my prediction, my mid-year prediction. I think the big three games for Game of the Year this year, and for general, not for us.
Yeah.
Is Clair Obscur, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Donkey Kong. and then the internet is gonna burn down because Jeff Keighley's gonna give it to Death Stranding 2.
Oh shit! Is he in this one? Do we know? I know George Miller's in it, which is
it doesn't matter. It's Hideo Kojima. Like he's basically a spokesperson for the Kojima Foundation.
Yeah, it does feel like that.
He's like the CEO of Make-A-Wish for Hideo Kojima only.
I always like to think when he comes to the States, Hideo Kojima comes to the States, and he has to stay at Jeff Keighley's house because he's just crashing
on his couch.
I think he sleeps under a cardboard box because that's how he likes to sleep on the road, as if he's trying to stealth around in a cardboard box.
When Jeff wakes him up, he lifts it up.
Then the shit hits the fan. It's fantastic. All right. Well, there you have it.
Thank you, BEAU's microphone, for the commentary.
Yeah, you did great. And we appreciate Two Button Terry as well for calling in on that front. I would like to thank our patrons. We have some new ones. Actually, a healthy bunch of new folks this week. I don't know what happened, but you guys got on board since our last episode. Jason Stevens, Jake Drexler, Chris Lateria, Terry Clucky.
Isn't that what Greedo says now before he shoots him
I think it's McClucksky or something, isn't it? Like McCluckin.
Cluke.
Is it? What?
No. It's Cluke. I know Cluke.
No, I know.
McClunky.
Yeah, McClunky.
It's McClunky.
In Star Wars is what we're talking about.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. You're fine. Algot. Sounds like a boss you have to fight. Stefan Stetner.
A lot of S's.
I would say probably Stefan as a first name.
Oh, okay,
Stefan.
Stefan.
Guess.
I have a friend named Stefan.
Or Steven. It could be a Steven.
I have a
fancy.
That is definitely
I would think Stefan.
Stefan. I have a friend spells it that way and he goes by Stefan. So I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, Stefan's okay.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. David Hearthstone Powers Helms.
Oh my gosh, that's a.
I'm guessing that's his podcast or something, which we are happy to say if it's in your name. We don't care. It's fine.
Our Stone Power.
Mental Schism, Trevor V, and Grecken. These are our new folks. This is amazing. This looks...
I see a Jason Stevens on here, and I know a Jason Stevens.
Oh, shit.
I wonder if it's the Jason Stevens I know. Now, I know it's such a unique name that it has to be the one I know for sure.
Hardly any Jasons out there. Barely any people with Stevens as last name. So, I don't know, man.
But if it is, hi.
Yeah, McClunky. Anyway, these guys have signed up at patreon.com/core show. They're now going to get these amazing host specials. John put one up not too long ago. Bo's is going up soon. I'll probably hold it till probably.
Well, it's a new month, so it is time.
Oh yeah, we could do it anytime. I'm just
timed it for July, so you can. We know.
Plus, I think we're behind like 7 episodes or something.
Oh, it's
so
not
I
that
think
many,
we can go.
But
not
yeah,
that many because I did one in February, I believe, when I was looking at my work.
Yeah.
So I think we had a March. So do we have March, April, May? Because we had a June one, you did June, so it's like there might be 3 in question. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll get to them though. I know we will. But here's the beauty of it. I'll hold it for a couple days just to pad it out, so it's not immediately in following this one.
Okay.
This episode, I mean, for patrons. But it is a patron-only thing. So if you want to support us on Patreon, that's how you get this stuff. You don't get those host specials by picking your butt and calling yourself Larry. You got to go sign up.
That's right.
What is that expression?
I don't know. I made it up on the fly.
It's a good one. I like it, but it made my brain go woo.
Patreon.com/core show is the place. You can also get monthly art in the mail, video game related stuff, some pre-show content every single week, and no commercials or ads ever. So sign up today at patreon.com/core show. All our other links and things can be found at frogpants.com/core. That includes all the ways to contact us, like 2-Button Terry and Bo's microphone did today. That is gonna do it for today. We only have one thing left, and that is to hand the microphone to Grandma, who will catch us up on all the games we played.
Well, if you missed a whole part of the show where they talked about what they played, here's what it was. Fast Fusion, that was the racing game on Switch 2. Red Faction Guerrilla, The Messenger. Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Date Everything. System Shock 2. Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering cards, because I guess we just talk about whatever the hell now. Final Fantasy X, Slay the Spire, the board game. As I said before, it's open season. Mm-hmm. Not video games anymore, just a show, I guess. Yep. Hear yourselves talk. Good for you. NIGHTREIGN, Valheim, Yakuza Kiwami, and more magic on the video games. At least it's a video game this time.
Maybe one day the magic will all be gathered and we can stop gathering. You know what I mean? It's like Final Fantasy. You ever going to finish this damn game and it will truly be the Final Fantasy?
Maybe. Will we ever save Tsushima?
Oh, shit.
Can it be saved?
Moho! Or what do they say? Yo-ho! Or whatever when you have to duck.
I don't think they say yo-ho.
Yo-ho! They're pirates. Oh, shit. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. Thank you, Grandma. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, John and Bo. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And don't you worry. We'll be back next week with more right here on Core. And happy 4th of July to all you mother scratchers who live in the U.S.
And happy Canada Day.
Yep. Happy Canada Day. May our leaders do better things for us. All right? All right. Bye now.
Frog in Pants. If you're looking for something froggy smooth, find more at frogpants.com.